make a big deal about it being 28-2 against us, the guys who coach with him. He's pretty darn good against people who didn't coach with him.
Yeah,
too.
but he doesn't have that winning percentage overall.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think
20, not many people do.
Yeah,
28-2
is
really
crazy.
good. Yeah.
And that would be a storyline. I agree with you guys. Multiple coaches have done it now. Retire it. But if it was 30-0,
oh yeah, no. If it had never happened, it would be brought up anytime he goes against a former assistant.
And I'd still be okay discussing it if it was just Jimbo, if it only happened with Jimbo.
Yeah.
Right? But it's been done twice now.
Yeah.
And you can't be like, oh, it's only in the regular season. It's been done in the regular season. It's been done in the national championship
That's
game.
right, yeah.
So we've done it just about any way you can do it now. So to me, it's time to retire.
I'm with you. That was a storyline for a little bit. You got to find some new news now.
Yep.
And I don't know how much they'll play it up on game day. I will be interested to see with Big Noon kickoff. There's been a ratings battle there. And Big Noon's going to be at Colorado, Nebraska, I assume. I mean, they're doing their show from there, aren't they?
yeah.
Them being there and game day being Bama, Texas, I wonder what the ratings will look like because there's obviously a hunger for Colorado stuff,
That's right.
And they'll be right there at that game with all the Dion interviews.
See, and that show gets the benefit of all the time going into they're on site of their 11 o'clock game.
Yeah.
And they have an energy inside their stadium. They're usually on the sidelines. It feels like it's almost a national championship setup.
Yes.
As opposed to, oftentimes like in Tuscaloosa, it's going to end up being the quad,
right.
Denny's Chimes, and then, it's when it's all said and done, it's still 7 hours till kickoff.
Right. Did you guys happen to see, and I wish I had sent this to Scott, I forgot to do it. Somebody caught on video, they were coming back from a break on Big Noon kickoff, and Urban Meyer was off the set. I can't remember I do remember. It was the old boy that came over from ESPN, the gambling dude, Felica.
Yeah, Chris Felica.
Yeah, so he's on set with Rob Stone and all the rest of the crew's off set, and as they zoom the camera in, you can see Urban Meyer off to the side, and there's like this scantily clad girl, and he's just all leaned up talking to her. It looks like she might even be a dancer for one of the teams or something, like a cheerleader
Should
costume.
Start calling him Juan Carlos.
I mean, and Urban's all leaned up, just standing there talking to her, and you can barely see it as they're zooming in. And whoever sent it out was like, Urban Meyer will never not be a dirtbag. The guy's just off to the side talking up some chick.
MK's IPA. Wonder how long Bullett's going to be in boot camp.
Do you know yet?
Is this like
Hey, well, look at this. We got Bullet.
No. There it is. There's
Oh.
Urban Meyer. He's posted up talking to some girl all scantily clad. Good job, Scott.
That made it on the air?
Yeah, so when Fox comes back, so that's on the very left side of the screen. So when Fox comes back, Dunaway, they've got like a wide shot and they're zooming into the set, and Urban's over off to the left of the set. He's just standing there talking up some chick.
Yeah, I would tell you that if I was Urban Meyer, there's a good chance he walked off and gave a nice little earful to the producer and/or director.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, you think Shelly Meyer might have been watching at home?
You guys don't believe Bullet knows he's going to boot camp? Look at this. Do you have this, Scotty? You don't have it.
He doesn't have it.
never mind.
Is he getting his head shaved? They shave his head at boot camp?
No, they do not.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is boot camp like G.I. Jane, where if it's not going well for him, he can crawl his way out of a drill and hit a bell?
I'm a little nervous that Damien from Creative Dog Training might be calling me and saying,
Come
you know
get
what?
this one?
This ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hit that bell, rookie. Go ahead, tap out. That's what I want you to do. Hit that bell. You're not made.
I remember
you're not made for this.
So Lady Bird went to boot camp like 3.5 years ago, and she. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they sent me a video, and all the dogs were laid out, and she was still going.
Oh, no.
Oh, how about that?
A lot of energy, huh?
That is energy. You get a lot of energy with our
Travis
friends.
Hunter dogs.
You get a lot of energy with our friends at Alabama Power as well. They offer digital tools to help you save time and energy. When you sign up for an online account, you'll gain access to tools that will let you track your energy usage, set up outage and billing alerts, pay your bills online, and so much more. Visit alabamapower.com/digital tools. alabamapower.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Pete Thamel with some developing news right when we get going for the Friday night game this week. Kansas Jayhawk quarterback Jalen Daniels expected to play this week against Illinois. He did not play in week 1 against Missouri State because of tightness in his back. That gets us going today on a jam-packed show. And fire the cannons, and what's the Dolphins saying? Fins up. Fins up. It's NFL season again. Rockstar, you got your Lions gear?
I got the alternate. We had to do lights laundry, so my darks are doing laundry.
I asked if you're going to wash it.
It is a big night for the Lions, though.
Where's Lance?
Lance is not here today.
Lance is at a wedding. He got skirted.
What?
Whoa!
I know. I told you would be able to clap back on Thursday. Here you go.
I thought the rule here, and I think Brown and Lance are the biggest ones. You do not. Not only do you not invite somebody to a fall wedding.
Correct.
I'm not going to a fall wedding.
Yeah, he would probably say, well, it's just Saturday.
Does Lance know that the NFL starts tonight?
He should, yes. Lance'sLock.com.
Did she bring her purse with his balls in it?
I don't know. You'll have to ask Lance.
I'm just glad. I just want to let the Taylor household know that I'm glad that Bullet is the only person with a set of balls in that house.
That's right.
And he's using his balls because that is a weak move. This is the first week. Alabama plays Texas Saturday. And that is to have your balls in your woman's purse like that.
Yep.
It's sad. And to miss 2 days of a show that
2 days.
I think we
3 shows if you count Bud Light Game Night tonight.
And Odie's.
And Odie's last night.
You know, next time you see his ball, I know you got one ball, but I guess somebody else has the other ball.
Yeah,
so.
clearly. Yeah. Lance got skirted.
I admire Bullet because that is a weak ass move.
Yeah, there you go. I told Rockstar he'd be able to clap back.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic to not even think about. It is. It's just pathetic. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring it up. Scott, do you have that picture I sent you? I think this is almost as bad as a shark attack. It's just pathetic. Somebody needs to get their priorities straight.
Some people would say, Jim, jump in and stop this. Jim, jump in and be the referee and stop this.
I don't care. I'm just saying. I don't care. Somebody in the message board said, somebody asked, like, where's Lance? And I don't know. I was just asking.
I'm just saying that this is Rockstar self-defense is what this is. This is Rockstar's time to clap back.
I told him he would be
taking some heat.
When Lance,
I went with my family to see my son to see his grandparents and went to a Troy game. And
I know.
I have my balls in my wife's purse.
And when he dropped that, what did I tell you? I was like, if you'll just hold till Thursday, you'll be able to clap right back.
So I feel your pain, Bullet.
Yeah, here we are.
So there you
are.
Rockstar
clapping back.
She has his balls. We're going to clip his balls too.
Just for full note now. Family member of mine got married last weekend in Washington, D.C. My wife and daughter went to the wedding. I didn't go to the wedding. How come?
You're a
because
man.
Football season, Jimmy D.
You're a man.
Didn't want to miss the Friday show here,
Right.
and Saturday was week 1 of college football, and we had obligations on the show too, and so I played by the show rule, right? No weddings in the fall.
Yep.
No weddings in the fall.
And I applaud you for that.
And this goes way back for me, way before I even met Brownie and LT. Maggie's college roommate, Jack and Phil, got married in the middle of football season. And we were close friends back then. Did not go to their wedding because it was football season. So it's a hard, fast rule for me.
Yep. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I mean, it was.
Plant that flag.
Yep. But Rockstar got his opportunity. Well done, Rockstar. Led the show with it.
I don't care. Just somebody says something on the message board. Like, again, I don't care. I don't care one way or the other. Doesn't bother me.
LT will be back with the show on
Tuesday, Thursday. When do we come back?
Is it next Monday or Saturday morning? Is he part
no, he's, I think doing the Saturday morning. So the wedding is actually today. It is a Thursday wedding.
I thought it was a Friday wedding.
No, I think it's today.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's today. So he will be on the Saturday shows, plural.
So there's 2 people. Kelsey's missing the game tonight, and Lance is missing the game
Where's
tonight.
Kelsey?
Travis Kelsey.
Oh, Travis Kelsey.
So you got 2 people missing the game tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, just making
Chris
sure.
Jones too.
I mean, are you gonna let up on him at all?
No, I was just because he just
Well, I
lays
mean,
into me.
do you think he would let up?
Again, I don't care. I'm just saying, I don't care.
We jump into what's going on today in sports really fast, thanks to our friends at NASCAR, really fast, the world's fastest speedway over at Talladega. And you got a chance to get tickets to go see Hardy in concert and the NASCAR playoff race coming up September 30th through October 1st. Get your tickets right now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. World-class speed, the best drivers in the world, racing for a spot in the playoffs to continue on towards the championship. It happens all right here all right here at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Laura says, Jimmy D, I know Jack and Phil, great folks.
Oh, how about that?
Fantastic people.
And they made it.
Jack and Phil.
They made it. It was a fall wedding.
Fall wedding, and they're still together years later down in the Bay Area.
How many?
Fairhope, Alabama.
I
Shout
love
out.
Fairhope.
Yeah, Phil's a good dude.
Good place. Yep.
Jack's a teacher, giving back.
Yeah. I when you started the show with the Jalen Daniels news, I mean, it's massive news. He's the Kansas quarterback. I did think how many people, we had a college fantasy draft, the longest college fantasy draft in the history of drafts.
Just ended yesterday.
Just ended right before the season started next year. How many people drafted Jalen Daniels thinking they were getting Jaden Daniels? And they were upset at the time, and now they're like, maybe this is better.
Maybe I did get the better JD.
Let me watch tonight and see.
Yes. Friday night for that Illinois game.
Friday night, yes.
Friday night for Illinois and Kansas. This is a Thursday Bud Light game night tonight with our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We're down at Top Golf 5-7. If you can make it out there, do we tell them what they get an opportunity if they make it out? Do we tell them yet? Or
I think we tell them, yeah.
Okay, if you make it out tonight, we'll have a QR code that gives you a chance to register to get tickets to the Iron Bowl.
The Iron Bowl, Jim?
The Iron Bowl. Alabama, Auburn, Jordan-Hare. You know how tough that ticket will be.
Yeah, and you know what those games are like at Jordan-Hare. They are can't miss. Yeah, it's a doozy every time.
88,000 plus. You and a friend can be at the Iron Bowl, but you have to come out to our Bud Light game nights this year to get a chance to jump into that drawing. QR code available there tonight. You hit the QR code, you sign up, you're in the drawing. Got to be on site. First one is Top Golf tonight, 5-7. So come on out, hit that QR code. LT will not be able to register, Kevin. You're right, because he will not be able to figure out the QR code. But we'll have people on hand.
He's at a wedding.
We'll have Bud Light girls on hand to help you tonight with the QR code to get you registered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Iron Bowl this year down in Auburn, thanks to our friends at Bud Light as part of our Bud Light game night tonight right there at Top Golf. So come hang out and do this. As we get going with the NFL tonight, and Little T is sending out from our platform a little daily fantasy cheat code from me. I suck at daily fantasy, so do with it as you will. But you had talked earlier this week to Daniel Jeremiah.
That's right.
DJ Football, right there on the Disrupt the Media YouTube platform, YouTube channel, and everywhere else you get Disrupt the Media, like and subscribe. He mentioned Tank Bigsby as maybe a little sleeper pick to have a really good year for the Jaguars.
Yeah, ETN was really good for them last year, and he said he thinks Bigsby will actually be the better back this year, that he really likes what Bigsby brings to the game, to the point he likes him better than Travis Etienne, who was really good for them last year. I think 1,500 total yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Another in-state rookie, Jahmyr Gibbs, is getting rave reviews, and he's in action tonight where versatility is being played up. Everyone talking about the Lions tonight. Maybe you want to play Gibbs as your sleeper play tonight if you're doing the captain mode. Maybe you get him cheap and throw him in for double points or whatever. It'll be a risky play, but a chance to make some points because he's going to catch the ball a lot from Jared Goff on the road against Kansas City.
Yeah, they were talking. I think it was Dan Campbell, the head coach, was in a news conference and was asked about the versatility of Gibbs, and he said, we're using him, in a lot of ways we're not even going to talk about. I mean, it makes it sound as if there's like 7 million things the guy could do. I mean, basically, you're going to hand it to him, you're going to throw it to him. Yeah. I mean, there'll be different plays, obviously. But
if he's kicking kicks or holding for field goals, then those are things I don't think he can do.
That's right. That's not what I envision him doing in the NFL. But you listen to Dan Campbell talk, and he really, really likes what Jahmyr Gibbs brings versatility-wise to this offense. I will be interested in seeing how much we see of that tonight. I mean, a rookie, no matter what position, a rookie making an immediate impact in the NFL is quite rare.
It is a rare thing.
Yeah, in a skill position especially, there's just such a learning curve to the game. But you listen to DJ talk about both Bijan Robinson, as Scott points out in the chat room. Bijan Robinson, he said he thinks he'll lead the NFL in rushing this year.
Yeah.
There's a rookie at Atlanta. And then Tank Bigsby, Scott is so fired up that DJ said that about Bijan. Scott even changed his name. Did you see Scott's fantasy team name?
What is your fantasy team name?
To Infinity and Bijan.
That's really good.
I like it.
I like it, Rockstar.
Yeah.
It's really good. And the dramatic pause makes it even better, Scott.
To Infinity and Bijan.
And Bijan.
Yes, I like that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's interesting to see Jahmyr Gibbs, Tank Bigsby, Bijan Robinson, these backs that could have an immediate impact, and all of those are contenders. I mean, the Lions could win that division, Atlanta could win that division, Jacksonville is the favorite to win that division. So you're talking about contending teams with these rookie backs.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson was a rookie last year, but to your point, he was basically a pass rusher, a little easier to line up and just see ball, get ball, and go get the quarterback. It'll be interesting to watch Aiden Hutchinson tonight against the Chiefs, who do not have Travis Kelce, who's the easy dump off for Patrick Mahomes.
You assume they don't, Jimmy Dunaway.
Oh, is Kelce a possibility?
According to Chiefs CEO Clark Hunt. That's a tough one there, Rockstar.
MK.
I've never really said his name out loud.
Clark Hunt, line 7. Clark Hunt, line 7.
I have never really said his name.
I've never known a Clark.
Continuously out loud. And the first time I did it, I'm like, wow, you really want to pronounce that one properly. Clark Hunt, the Chiefs CEO on Travis Kelce. This is according to Kyle Brandt of the NFL Network. I wouldn't bet against him being on the field tonight. Now, that's not Andy Reid saying that. That is the Chiefs CEO saying. It's not a team doctor saying that. That's the guy that, sits in the box and signs the checks. So I'm not saying that makes it good or bad info. I'm just saying
gamesmanship here is what that
could
is.
Could be. I would be surprised. The reports are, though, that, Jim, if this were a Sunday game, there's a good chance he would play. The fact that it's a Thursday night game just has not allowed enough healing time. They don't want to rush him out there. And he'll be back next week. This gives him long rest.
Yeah, I think Aiden Hutchinson gets after Patrick Mahomes tonight, but Mahomes never has a bad Week 1 game. 5-0.
All right.
4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's 18.
That ain't bad.
18 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in 5 Week 1 games. He'll put up numbers tonight.
That'll get it done right there. There's no doubt. So I think it'll be a very entertaining game. The Lions have been the talk of the offseason. They are a sexy NFC pick. They're a sexy pick to win that division over the Vikings, Packers, and Bears. Everybody thinks it's going to be this high-powered offense because of the way they played last year. They do have some weapons on defense. I am fascinated to watch this game. We know what Kansas City is, but, the question comes, Jim. You take away all these weapons from Kansas City, and they just continue to produce, as DJ said on DJ Football, unless Andy Reid decides to retire or Patrick Mahomes misses the team bus, they're going to have good offense no matter what the weapons are around them. Andy Reid is that good, and Patrick Mahomes is that good. But you do wonder, you take away Tyreek Hill, they don't miss much of a beat. They draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they replace him with some back nobody's ever heard of, and it's good enough to go to the Super Bowl, right? But now you start taking Kelce away if he doesn't play tonight. I mean, I know Mahomes is great and Reid is really good, but you can only sustain so much of that.
That's right. There's guys who are also scheming on defense as well. Yeah. When the Chiefs got beat by the Bucs, my team, in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, they had a problem protecting Patrick Mahomes. Can they keep Hutchinson off Mahomes tonight? 7:20 on NBC as the NFL season cranks out tonight. Should be a lot of fun as we go on the long journey all the way to the Super Bowl. Which, did they ever announce? They tried to get Taylor Swift. Taylor said no, she didn't need it at this point. Are they going? I heard it's going to be, is it Miley Cyrus and the really popular dude that all the girls scream about? He also wears blouses when he's on. God, he slips my mind right now. Really fantastic.
Harry Styles?
Harry Styles.
That's quite the description.
Is it Harry Styles and Miley Cyrus teaming up to do the Super Bowl this year?
I have not seen that announcement.
I don't see anybody. It says all I see is Taylor Swift declined it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any.
I've not seen an announcement, Jim.
Okay. Well, I may have had my first Harry Styles dream then. Somewhere along the way, I think.
Lunsford's saying I got you on. He's saying the favorite is Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, everything, if you're betting on it, says Miley Cyrus is the favorite. Harry Styles is up there, but I don't think together. I mean.
Yeah. I wanted it to. It's Vegas this year, correct?
Sure.
Is it Vegas this
year?
No,
I think it's it's State Farm. I think it's in Phoenix.
No, that was last year.
You sure?
Yeah, because remember the slippery turf and we got all upset about
that's
it?
That's right. Yeah.
Such a good NFL show we are.
It's in Vegas?
Yeah. So I wanted it to be the Killers and just all the great Vegas bands. Is it One Republic
Wayne
that's
Newton.
there?
Imagine Dragons is a Vegas band.
Imagine Dragons, the Killers. It would be cool to. I mean, is Wayne still alive?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to roll Wayne Newton out at
He
the
is still
Super
alive.
Bowl.
I mean, he would come out and just do. I mean, just to start off the festivities, to roll him out there and then cart him off and let somebody else go.
All right, buddy, let's go. Let's go.
I mean, actually, he does wear blouses. I mean,
Well, shoes like that's a heck of a way to describe Harry Styles.
Yeah.
The guy
He does.
girls.
His name,
he wears
but
like
it's-
big pearl necklaces.
Yeah.
Like he's out there.
I mean, it's his fashion style, and he's very popular. I'm not judging. I mean, he makes millions of dollars, I think, off his wardrobe.
Right.
I mean, he designs.
Are they pirate shirts? Are they puffy shirts, Rockstar? I've not seen this.
I mean, he wears like
They are
very
yeah.
feminine clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, if I had his body and his money, I'd wear them too.
Yeah.
You know, I wear basically athletic T-shirts because they cover up my gut.
Hey, listen, if you're tired of your old, outdated bath or shower, I was too. My wife and I bought our home back in 2015. And we immediately weren't crazy about the master bath. I'm just going to be honest with you. Now, Scott showing you photos. You're like, man, Brown, that bath looks fine. No. What's the functionality of it? That's fine. We just didn't
that
like
bathtub
the
is not worthy of you and Jennifer.
Well, we're not big bathtub people. The white was, and the light was not really what we wanted. We wanted the darker hues. So we decided we're going to replace it. My wife scours the internet looking for the best contractor for the job. She talks to people that have used certain
No.
contractors, other contractors. Yeah, it's a better bathtub.
That's
no
a
doubt.
bathtub there.
And the shower. He and Brad Bell improved the shower, too. He did exactly what we asked him to do. It is fantastic in our bathroom now. Thank you to Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. Master bath and kitchen. That's where you get your money back, okay? It's where you spend a lot of time, too. So get it the way you want it, and you're going to get it back on the resale. He did Lance's, too. Lance just the opposite of me. Darker hues. He wanted kind of a lighter bathroom. That just shows you Brad's not coming in with some preconceived notion. He's doing it the way you want it done. That's what he did for me and for Lance. You can use him, too. 205-422-1758. Anywhere in Alabama. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. If you missed any of this, reach out to me. I'll get you in touch with Brad Bell. 205-422-1758. This is our guy here. What? I'm sorry.
Yeah, will you put Brown's new bathtub back up there? I picture you on Saturday nights, like the old Western. You only bathe on Saturday nights after college football, and you're in that tub, and Jennifer's walking in with the hot water off the stove and pouring it in there.
My boots are sitting next to it.
Miss Kitty, get me another drink.
I can't tell you the last time I've been in a bathtub. I am a straight shower guy.
I think the last time I was in the bathtub, this is old round table, back to our days over at the other place.
Yeah.
When I did the getaway, the lovers getaway with the wife at Butterfly Gap.
Yeah. When you shaved your chest and
When
got a embedded hair.
When I had an ingrown hair
Yeah.
around my nipple. Yep.
That's tough memory.
I think that was
That
the
sounded like a
last
good
bathtub.
weekend.
Yeah.
It was a
Good
good
weekend.
weekend. It was painful afterwards, but it was a good weekend. Butterfly
Wow.
Gap. This is Harry Styles.
That's Harry Styles right there.
Yeah, and I
that
think,
is a blouse.
I think-
It's in the name, man.
I think you would describe that as a blouse.
I would, absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
so, again-
I believe that's sheer sleeving,
Yeah.
I believe is what you would call that.
I think I
Good pose too.
100%.
What, you gonna take a picture? Okay.
100% of my analysis so far today. 100%.
Do it. I dare you.
All right, as we roll on
It's a
here,
bright flash.
Roman Harper, next segment.
Uh-huh.
Buster Olney talking baseball starting hour 2, 10 Central. Dan Orlovsky talking about the NFL starting hour 3 at 11. And head coach Trent Dilfer of the 1-0 UAB Blazers ending the show today at 11:45 Central Time. So Roman, Buster, Orlovsky, and Trent all on the show today. Rockstar's got our 4 downs. EG, our newest member, 13, will join us in studio for 4 downs coming up in the second hour. We'll get to that. Stock report coming up today. But one college football note to look at. If you'll pull up mybookie.ag.
Jim, I will.
I would love to know the totals for these 2 games, Oklahoma SMU
Okay.
and USC and Stanford.
You have to give me 1 second to refresh.
Yeah, that's okay. Oklahoma SMU, because
Yep.
what you have here is an Oklahoma team that scored 73 last week against Arkansas State, and SMU and Rhett Lashley, who love to go fast and score points as well. I want to see what the total is in that game, and USC and Stanford. And you say, well, Jim, why do you care about the total there? Because we know USC is going to score some points.
Yeah.
Stanford now with Troy Taylor, you mentioned this after watching them week 1, all of a sudden they're trying to play a more contemporary offense where they speed it up a little bit. So I think an opportunity for a lot of points in both these games. I don't know if mybookie.ag can make it big enough.
Tim, the total for SMU Oklahoma is 68.5. I'm going to try to give you some context for that. Good context would be Texas, Alabama, right?
Yes.
You said that's pretty good context because you envision that game kind of being played like a normal game,
And
right?
it's the biggest game in the country.
And it is the biggest game in the country. So 68.5 for that one. And I'm still looking for Southern Cal. I just got to dig through these. You're going to have to be patient with me here.
It's 100 games.
Yes,
so
it is.
What was Oklahoma SMU?
68.5 for Oklahoma SMU.
68.5.
Alabama, Texas, for context, 54.5. So they're basically expecting 2 more touchdowns.
Yep.
At 68.5. Let's see here. USC 69.5. So USC Stanford. Boy, they're expecting a lot of points from USC. They are favored 29.5 in this one, and the total is 69.5.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And that's what you expect the game to be. You feel over or under in both those games? Oklahoma SMU at 68.5, 69.5 for USC Stanford.
I feel, boy, that's a lot of points if you think USC is going to cover the number. I would take under in USC Stanford.
Wow.
And I'd probably go over in SMU Oklahoma.
Yep, just the opposite for me.
Would you? You'd flip it around?
Flip it around.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough.
I'd go under Oklahoma SMU.
Yeah.
Played a little bit more defensively for Oklahoma against SMU. And then I still don't trust USC's defense. I don't trust USC's defense against Stanford. So
yeah.
It's something to keep an eye on. One more note here in the opening segment before we get to Roman Harper. Our friends at Milo's, they offer you right now that classic burger. If that's not enough, right? If you download the Milo's app after your first purchase, you get the original cheeseburger for free. Stuff your face, earn free stuff, all with our friends at Milo's. The Milo's app adding rewards to you today. Download the Milo's app. Enjoy the classic burger. Get a cheeseburger for free. That's with our friends at Milo's. As we get ready for the big weekend coming up in Tuscaloosa, we'll hear from Nick Saban later in the show. He talked yesterday after practice, where they were indoors, by the way. Went indoors on the practice yesterday.
Hot out there, man. I was at the golf course.
And we'll hear more from the Texas folks, Steve Sarkisian, on how Nick Saban has sustained success. All that coming up on the show as we move throughout the day here. And if you get ready for your tailgate this weekend, you're wondering what to take with you to the tailgate, how about a little Maestro Dobel Diamante tequila for just the shots before you go into the game, or maybe you want to make a nice drink while you enjoy it between game day and SEC Nation and the nighttime kick. It's the 100% pure agave Diamante tequila, Maestro Dobel Diamante tequila. Ask for it by name. It's aged in the Balkan region, Eastern European barrels that make it crystal clear and add a unique note of wood to the flavor there. It's the best tequila out there. Crystal clear tequila from our friends at Maestro Dobel Diamante. Roman Harper is up next to talk college football on TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
It's college football time in Alabama. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. I grew up an Alabama fan, Roll Tide, but my wife, Caroline, grew up an Auburn fan, War Eagle. But no matter who you pull for, whether it's the Lions of the University of North Alabama or the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State or any other school in between, I want to wish all the players, the coaches, and especially the fans another great college football season here in Alabama. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
The next round brought to you by the biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Superspeedway. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming up. You don't want to miss it. The action kicks off Saturday, September 30th with the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, all leading up to the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs on Sunday, October the 1st. Be there to see these drivers battle for 500 miles to survive and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Again, that is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
It's NBA time, Birmingham, as we hoop it up with the New Orleans Pelicans and Houston Rockets, October 12th at Legacy Arena. Single game tickets are now available. Visit BirminghamSquadron.com or call 205-719-0850 for more information or to buy tickets. And the game is packed with former local players like Herb Jones and Kyra Lewis Jr. and Jabari Smith, and other superstars like Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. You can also become a Squadron season ticket holder to get complimentary tickets to this huge event right here in the Magic City. The Pelicans preseason game in Birmingham sold out last year, so get your tickets as soon as possible. Do that online at BirminghamSquadron.com or by calling 205-719-0850. October 12th, it's the Pelicans and Rockets at Legacy Arena right here in Birmingham. BirminghamSquadron.com.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. And don't forget about that 29-degree man-sized drafts. It's Twin Peaks at the Patton Creek Shopping Centers.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Again, our friends at Talladega excited about the big race weekend coming up September 30th through October the 1st. What you get that weekend, the Yellowwood 500 NASCAR playoff race is happening that weekend. You get all the door handle to door handle speed. You also get the Craftsman Truck Series playoff race that weekend on September the 30th on that Saturday. Saturday night, you get Hardy in concert, one of the hottest stars in country music, in concert at Talladega. Your race ticket gets you to all that. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Roman Harper coming up in a second. Cam Rising, still questionable, going into the Utah's battle with Baylor this weekend. That's an interesting note. I personally think the Utah team I saw against Florida probably can go on the road and beat Baylor in Waco.
I mean, I think they could, yes. I don't know how to judge Baylor. That was obviously not a good performance against Texas State. And I got to think, I don't want to just keep bashing T.J. Finley over all the years here at Dunaway. He's not a quarterback in this state anymore. But if T.J. Finley does that to you and you're Baylor, I think those Utah quarterbacks look good enough to move the ball on you. I think if you are Dave Aranda, this game says a lot about who you are after you have had that type of embarrassing performance.
Right.
And then you come back and play a named team. I think you'll learn a lot about who this team is in this game with Utah and Baylor.
Let's get a little airport version of Roman Harper right here. He joins us every week on the show thanks to our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Harp, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good, fellas. I'm trying to put the headphones in so it's not too loud. You don't hear.
That's okay. We'll give you some time. Tell us about MyBookie while Roman gets set up here.
MyBookie.ag, code next round. Code next round on MyBookie.ag. That's where you go to get signed up, and you get that sign-on bonus up to $200 on a $50 deposit or more. That sign-on bonus from MyBookie.ag. You can use it right away. Harp is in the airport, coming to Tuscaloosa for SEC Nation, Alabama and Texas. You played in some pretty juiced-up environments at times in Tuscaloosa. I see the shirt. You played in some juiced-up environments sometimes in Tuscaloosa. This one should not disappoint with a team like Texas coming to town, Harp.
No, it shouldn't, man. It should be live, and we're not going to have to – Nick's not going to have to beg the fans to stay all four quarters. I know that's for sure. It should be really entertaining. At the end of the day, it's only entertaining when you win. So you've got to win this game as well. And I think this game is in a sense, a prove-it game for Alabama, not only for themselves personally, but I think for everybody else in the country. Alabama has never been not picked to win as much as this year in any of my recent memory. So as far as any particular game, and also to win the West as well. And I know a lot of people are trying to backtrack on the LSU picks because of the poor performance versus Florida State, but they also lost that game as well last year too. So, but understanding and knowing all of those same things, people still picked against Alabama. It's going to be a proven game for them this week.
I want to go right to your specialty, and that's defensive back. Alabama's DBs against Texas wide receivers. Tell me about that matchup in this game. As you look at Texas on tape and what Alabama can put out there, that seems to be one of the key matchups.
Well, it's key if you understand and pay attention to who's out there in front of you. Understand that Xavier Worthy ran right by your defense 3, 4, 5 times last year in this same game. So understanding who is where and what they like to do with each person in particular spaces. So anytime Xavier Worthy is on the point, they motion the slot man down. He is running deep. He's running right through your defense. If he runs an out route at 10, 12 yards, let him have it. They don't want to do that anyway. So understanding these little key things, I think, is going to be so vital for Alabama's understanding is who and where they're trying to get the ball to each individual guy. A.D. Mitchell's another guy, which is almost like Chris Carter. He only catches touchdowns. He never catches anything unless it's a big moment touchdown. So that's you just understanding who is where and what they're trying to do. I think if you play that game mentally before the play, I think it really sets up well for Alabama. And I'm just going to be honest, guys, and without you even asking me, is that, look, I know all offseason I was told how great Texas is, and we've all read how good Texas is. But I watched the game last week. Texas was not great at all versus a Rice team. And so this is going to be a big situation where I'm not just going to sit up here and listen to what people tell me about teams and what I read and all these other things. At some point, you got to prove it on the field. So Texas has to show me as well. And I don't understand how you get so much better when you lose 2 running backs to the NFL, including one in the top 10 in Bijan Robinson. So it's going to be really interesting to me on the road which Texas team shows up. And are they truly as good as what everybody has told the public how good they are this year?
Roman Harper is with us. You'll see him on SEC Nation from Tuscaloosa. You can follow him on Twitter at Harp41. He is presented each week on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline by our friends at MyBookie.ag. Code NEXTROUND to get signed up at MyBookie.ag and get that sign-on bonus up to $200 on any deposit of $50 or more. MyBookie.ag, code next round. You told us last week, I want to see it, when I asked you about all the reports that Alabama's defense seemed to have a little bit of a better edge in fall camp. You've seen a game of film, albeit against Middle Tennessee. Did you see differences in Alabama's defense?
I thought they ran around well. They looked fast. I'll say that much. They looked fast. They didn't look like they were thinking as much. They made a couple plays on the football, and they forced a turnover or two. Like, that was the big stat. It's like, okay, can you force a turnover? It was a terrible throw by the quarterback, but the DB caught it. And so that matters at the end of the day. Nobody ever asks at the end of the year, how did you get that interception? They just say, oh, he had 3. They don't care how, whether it's a couple of Hail Marys at the end of the half, whatever that is, pad your stats. So I like that part of it, but it's going to be a real true test. And also, as teams start to do some different things with you, how do they continue to stay focused and continue to play great defense down in and down out? The one exciting thing I thought, the most excited I was the linebacker Lawson in the middle. He looks like a player. And Dallas Turner seemed like he had some juice. Like, I enjoyed that part of it as well. They need to continue to keep that part going. I need to continue to see Dallas Turner be a difference maker in this defense.
There are defensive coordinators now worried about Bijan Robinson at the next level. It seemed like last year that was a big focus for Alabama in that game, not to let Bijan Robinson set the tone of the game, and that may have opened things up for the wide receivers. Without that kind of threat at running back, how does that change the game plan for Alabama, you think?
Well, I think that's what you got to pay attention to who's out there and where they're going. I think Texas and Sarkisian did a great job in the first 15 plays of really keeping Alabama off balance and really just confused. They do a big formational shift, so you got to reset the defense. Then they do a motion. Then they're out there trying to attack you with speed and tempo. So they weren't just like lining up, playing slow. No, this was like right back on the ball. They're ready to go. And so now you're trying to just get some calls in from the sideline. I think if Alabama can handle the first 15, then the game starts to settle in. In the NFL for all these years, that was like the biggest thing is, man, we got to be able to handle the first 15. And sometimes, as Greg Williams would say, we're gonna really slow things down. We're gonna keep everything in front of us. We're gonna try and play a lot of cover 2, mix up the fronts, do some different things, but we're gonna try and be as vanilla as possible. And when we get the opportunity to maybe blitz or heat them up, we got to be smart about that. But understanding this Texas team, from 40-yard line to 40-yard line, that's when the shots were showing up. So I hope the coordinators are paying attention to this. It's like, okay, they get an earned first down. They just crossed the 50-yard line, the 40-yard line. Play coverage, back them up, because this is the time where they like to dial up the shots and they're trying to take them over the top. And last year, those plays were open when you just missed them. So understanding and learning from your mistakes, I think it's always easier. Well, not easier, but I think it's just a better understanding when you play a team for the second time versus the first time. And yes, last year in Austin was a whole different vibe. I think they walked into a hornet's nest that not everybody was ready for. And they were lucky to get out of there with a win.
The SEC did not fare well in the major games, Harp. Florida lost to Utah on Thursday night. South Carolina did not look good against North Carolina on Saturday night. LSU lost to Florida State. Of those three teams, Florida, LSU, South Carolina, did you watch film and see anything that says, okay, they weren't as bad as they looked, just be patient? Was there anything where maybe the film told you a different story than the final score?
All right, let's just go through them real quick.
Okay.
I'll just knock them out, right? This is just kind of what I do. All right, so South Carolina, there's no way I thought they were going to get beat up and dominated the way that North Carolina's defensive line did to them. You can't give up 9 sacks. You got to get that cleaned up because the quarterback you have is good, but when he's not protected, he's not good. That's his big Achilles heel. That's a little bit antsy, not great in the pocket. So I don't know. They got to get that part really honed in. I don't know how you get better in that situation because you don't just grow 300-pounders on trees. My second thing, Florida made a lot of like little mini mistakes. They got to get those things cleaned up. It's a lot of self-inflicted wounds. It's a lot of eye violations in the secondary. Those are the things that really stood out to me. And also, they got to be able to run the football better. You got 2 really good running backs. That's what you got to be. Those guys got to be your bell cow. Run the football versus a better team. And Utah was very game plan oriented to stop the run first. So that wasn't the best situation for them. I think they could be better because I saw some game changers on the offensive side at wide receiver that I liked, and also some young pups on that defensive line that would look very interesting. They look like game wreckers on the SEC defense. And then lastly, LSU. I think LSU, the one I'm a little bit least concerned with, just because I just thought Florida State was better. And 3 things can't happen if you're LSU, especially in game 1. Number 1, they were out-coached. That Florida State staff put together a better game plan and executed better than LSU. Number 2, they out-hustled LSU. I saw a couple tip balls, like all these. Florida State played faster. They wanted it more than LSU. I saw LSU at times walking on the field. That ain't good. It's not good. And number 3, they out-hit them. And so when you lose in those 3 categories in football, you ain't winning that game, period. And that game kind of got away from them in the second half because at some point, Florida State looked at him and said, you know what? I know everybody's told us like how great LSU is, but you ain't better than me. So they just lined up and said, come get it. And Florida State whooped LSU. I'm telling you, I watched the tape. I looked up at certain times. Jaden Daniels, when he gets to the top of his drop, there was nowhere to go with the football. Florida State lined up, played man-to-man coverage and said, come get some. And LSU had no answer for it. So the LSU needs to look themselves in the mirror and say, we need to get better. Coaches and players included, and everybody's in a race to improve from week 1 to week 2.
All right, he is Roman Harper. He's in a race to Tuscaloosa. You'll see him on SEC Nation, SEC Network, Saturday morning. Safe travels, Harp, as always. Thank you for the time.
Appreciate it, fellas. I'm going to race to the golf course. Let's go get it.
Where are you playing?
Where are you playing?
Can you share?
I'm playing at North River when I get in. So,
that's the choice.
Dude, I'm just trying to hit bombs, dude. I'm just trying to hit bombs. And it's really, the bombs I'm hitting are good right now. Dude, my approach shot, I'm like, I hate it when I hit a 290, 280, 300-yard drive, and I freaking duff my second shot. I'm like, bro, I'm wasting time out here.
I know.
I'm 80 yards from the green. Put it close and let's go. So it's all good. I'm in the zone today, folks. It's going to be good.
All right, hit him straight. Thank you, Roman.
Bump and run like an old guy. Bump and run that second shot like an old guy.
I have been doing that more. I use my 6-iron and I put it. You're so true.
Yeah.
Bump and run, not bad.
It's an old man's game. I'm an old man. Trust me. Bump and run it. Bump and run it.
See you, Harp. Safe travels.
Bye.
All right, Harp on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Courtesy of MyBookie.ag. The no strings attached cash bonus lets you deposit and withdraw quick. They're in MyBookie.ag. Code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round. When you use that promo code, you can receive up to $200 in cash instantly in your MyBookie account. You bet that deposit once, you're ready to cash out at any time. Code next round to claim that deposit bonus.
Controversy right after I tell you about our friends at Chicken Cock. You need a Need a strong drink when somebody starts talking crap about your team, don't you?
Yep.
Our friends at Chicken Cock.
That's right.
It's been all the way back to the years in Kentucky. This is the bourbon whiskey. You can tell we enjoy it up here. This bottle in 1 week is down a little bit. I like the rye as well. Wherever you get your bourbon, ask for it by name, Chicken Cock. It is the official bourbon of the next round all football season. Chicken Cock. A little prop here on set. Remember, this is a closed track, and we are professionals. It's our friends at Chicken Cock. Get it for this football season. You need to pour you a stiff one when you hear your opponents talking crap. Rockstar, give me cut number 6. I want your reaction to Jaden Ott. Now, he's a dude. I got my kicks on today. He's a dude.
He's a dude playing ball?
He's a baller. 188 yards last week. He reminds me a little bit of Tank Bigsby, to be honest with you, when Tank played at Auburn. Here's Jaden Ott. He's the Cal running back. And listen, he knows Auburn's tradition, but he doesn't think it means squat in this football game.
You know, I think there's a lot of focus on the name, Auburn. And, you know, what I see on film is just like, you know, not really in comparison to what their name is. So I just want to get that into my guys' heads. Like, you know, a name doesn't mean anything, and at the end of the day, they're still human, and we have just as much of a chance as they do to go in there and get the win.
Yeah,
so he's saying they're an SEC school, but I watched them on film, and they don't look like one. I mean, that's essentially what he said.
That's
right?
what he's saying. And later on in the interview, he calls for the upset. Now, I never have a problem with thinking my team's going to win.
Of course, I would hope you're
And if
thinking
you get asked that question, you either can say things like, that's why we keep score. We're going to find out on Saturday. But I would 100% believe everybody in every game believes they're going to win the game. So I have no problem him saying that. But leading into a big game, and it's a big game for Cal. What do you think about him saying those comments? I know they're an SEC team, but I look on tape, they don't look like an SEC team.
I mean, that part right there sounded bad. Now, the other part of it is like, hey, we can't get caught up in just looking at names on jerseys and knowing we're playing an SEC team. That doesn't make them invincible. Now, I'm fine with that, right? But when you say, I know they say Auburn, but I watch them on film, they don't look like that. I mean, that is a direct shot at Auburn. There's no other way about it except for the fact he's taking a direct shot at Auburn.
Yeah, Bobby, who's a huge Auburn fan. I love that a kid on the West Coast who knows what Auburn football is supposed to be about.
That's right.
But he goes, number 2, I can't argue with what he said, just when he said it. Save that for after the game. And that becomes the big question.
Right.
Why do you even give them an opportunity?
Yeah. Well, I think he got tripped up. I think he was trying to say, what I'm trying to tell my guys is, we can't just get caught up in looking that this is an SEC team. I think maybe he presented it a little bit poorly. I mean, it's like Jeff Banks saying what he said about Bryant-Denny Stadium. I don't think Jeff Banks back in the summer meant to say Bryant-Denny is like playing at Kansas. I don't think that's what he was trying to say. I don't think that's what this kid is trying. Sometimes you're trying to answer questions, and instead of just doing coach speak, you're trying to give good answers. We do 3 hours a day. I get tripped up all the time and say stuff like, God, I wish I hadn't have said it that way.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was like maliciously taking a shot at Auburn.
It's funny. Taylor never sends yours out when you don't do it. But if you mispronounce, one of the more popular guys in social media, Dave Portnoy.
Very good, Jim.
And, with a Southern accent, Portnoy doesn't come out well unless you take time to say it, because I came from a trailer park.
Right.
If I get going fast in a 3-hour show, it comes out Pointnoy sometimes.
It's one of the weirdest
and
ones.
It gets blasted with him tagged in it on social media all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Come on. What are we doing? Tell us about our friends at Hydra Live. They were in studio with us yesterday.
They were.
I got a B12 shot. Several people up here got IV bags getting ready for the NFL season to kick off tonight.
Yeah, you saw Lance right there. You got the shot. Taylor sent that out too, by the way. I assume you know that, right?
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
God, we send out a lot of stuff every day.
The queen of content, man. You got the shot. Lance got the bag. I think we might have set the record yesterday on IV bags up here. Lance was right. It looked like a match.
It was.
I mean, you got
one of the best things yesterday. Kelsey was in the office and she said, "I would have come to defend you on the Foo Fighters Pink Floyd thing, but I had an IV." And I was like, "Okay, it's weird. Okay, thank you though."
HydraLifeTherapy.com. HydraLifeTherapy.com to find the location nearest you. You could find them all over Birmingham. They're throughout the Southeast, though, but Tuscaloosa, Hoover, Birmingham, the new location there at Greystone. If you're not feeling well, or maybe you just got a big weekend ahead and you want to go ahead and you get those fluids in you. Make sure everything turns out okay. Jim got the B12. That gives you a little more energy. They've got the IV bags that can replenish all of the liquids that get out of you in a hot, long weekend. All of that right there at HydroLive. They could even come to your place. HydroLiveTherapy.com. That is HydroLiveTherapy.com.
In fact, I did a shot of chicken cock with my B12 yesterday. I had a name for it that I won't say on the air.
Interesting.
The damn name's chicken cock. How can you make worse?
Well, you start using the B12 number and combining them, and it becomes something totally different.
Oh, okay.
But a shot of chicken cock and a B12 shot makes you feel fantastic for a football season. So it was a really good day. I got a way to wellness question for you here.
All right.
Okay. Has anybody brought this up? What did we show? Forster, we showed you the video back in the summer, the heat of summer.
Right.
And to be honest, I was a little jealous of this team because they were debuting these things. Remember the old air-conditioned helmets?
I do, at LSU.
For LSU. Remember the old air-conditioned helmets? Has anybody brought up that those guys looked like they were still sitting in the air conditioning in the fourth quarter?
I had completely forgotten about the air-conditioned helmets until just now, yeah.
I mean, the air-conditioning helmets.
I certainly don't think it helped.
It did not help them. Those guys didn't have extra energy at the end of the game. They were getting run by Florida State, who I don't think had air-conditioned helmets. Is anybody asking, are the air conditioning helmets good for college football? Because they were not good for LSU the other night.
No, they were not. It did not appear to help LSU one bit, not one bit.
If I'm Brian Kelly,
turn the AC off.
I go back and turn the AC off in Baton Rouge this weekend.
Like as a kid running up your power bill.
Our friends at Way to Wellness keeps you in shape so you can handle the heat, the cold, and the fourth quarter. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Your Leslie, her board-certified team over there will take care of you. Just go to this website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is absolutely free. It is Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Jumpstart your weight loss, control your blood pressure and your cholesterol as you get older. It's just a healthy lifestyle, and they'll help you live the life you want to live when it comes to consumption of food and the way you go about getting the nutrients you need every day. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Again, that website is aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. We got a special guest joining us in the next segment from down at the beach.
Yes.
That's next, right here on TNR.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
As summer starts to fade, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pest, it's fall invader season. Hold on tight because we've got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight. Box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and let's show those fall invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your party. Take charge today.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Drytech Water Restoration is a locally owned company that specializes in mold remediation, fire and water damage cleanup, and SteraMist services. Drytech's goal is to provide clients with expert guidance when dealing with any home disaster. Drytech's highly trained specialists are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They will work closely with you and your insurance company to make sure the process is stress-free as possible. Call Drytech today, 205-637-0143. The moment you discover damage to your home, Drytech's team will handle the rest.
The extra hours of sunshine are back on the clock, and that means it's time for golf at Timberline, a short drive from Birmingham or Montgomery. Go to timberlinegc.com, timberlinegc.com to book your tee times, schedule a lesson, or just drop by and use the TrackMan technology on the driving range. The course is always fun, in great shape, and you can even become a member. Get all the details at timberlinegc.com. It's time to get your golf on with our friends at Timberline.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Our Michelson look ahead to tonight's action. You got the big NFL season starting. Lions and Chiefs, 7:20 on NBC, which means when you have the big NFL kickoff on Thursday night, you got a crappy college football game on ESPN. Murray State in Louisville, 6:30 on ESPN for that one. Or, that's the only one.
Is that it? That's it?
That's it. That's it. That's the Michelson look ahead.
I was expecting more, Jim.
Brought to you by our friends at Michelson.
Michelson Laser Vision is the place where Lance went to basically get fighter pilot vision. You can do the exact same thing. There's no reason to fight it the rest of your life. Get that eval there from our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. See if it is right for you. It's very simple to do. I've done it myself. LASIK could change your life. 969-8100, 969-8100. Dr. Mark and Jennifer Michelson are pioneers in this field, and they can help you to LASIK surgery with Michelson Laser Vision. Call Amy. Tell her the Next Round told you to call, and you won't Lance's fighter pilot vision. 969-8100, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Lance, if you can hear us, we can't see you. We can only see your name, so turn your camera on.
And you're muted.
And you're muted, too.
Yes.
So we need you in this segment if you're going to jump on
Both
with us.
negatives.
Nick Bosa, by the way, Nick Bosa signs a 5-year, $172 million contract. He becomes the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. That happened as the season gets ready to start. Joe Burrow and Jordan Jefferson expected Justin Jefferson. That's the receiver for the Vikings, right?
Uh-huh.
Which one is it? Justin or Jordan?
Yes.
Justin, right? Getting ready to sign contracts before the season starts. There's Lance. Let's bring him in now. He is not here today. Rockstar, real quickly, Lance is where?
Are your balls here or in Birmingham? Where are your balls?
Yeah, Rockstar has gotten really personal, and it started about 7 years ago when I got a divorce.
Oh, my God.
But boy, man, I tell you, and that's fine. Here's what I've always said. And by the way, Dunaway, I see the little shot you gave me there coming on, too. I am prepared to do the show all day today. I'm prepared to do the show all day tomorrow. I told you guys that for 2 weeks. And apparently nobody wanted me to do the show today.
That was it, yes.
Yeah, so you guys can say what you want. I've said I would never go to a fall wedding and miss college football. Is that not what we've said?
Is there a game tonight, Jim?
There is. There's Murray State, Louisville.
Okay.
Not a meaningful
that
game.
one doesn't count. That is an FCS opponent.
Yeah, so I will be back tomorrow.
Oh, you're coming back tomorrow? I thought you weren't back till Monday.
No, I'm coming back to Birmingham.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So you'll be back. You'll be back.
I told you guys 2 weeks ago that I'm prepared to do the show all day today, all day tomorrow, and I don't know how it got so personal.
I think it was a joke, but I don't know.
No,
Okay.
you know, Rockstar has not been joking for months. And
God.
take the shot at me, I think Rockstar took like 70 days off this fucking year.
70 days, I did.
Did you, Rockstar?
It's like, where's Rockstar today? He's in Tupelo. I thought Black Jacket was over. No, we're still doing a show.
Wow. Did we? Is this one of those y'all have this planned out where Portnoy and the guys they start arguing?
I got a bunch of texts that I was getting cut apart. So, unlike you, I don't watch a show when I go out of town.
Yeah. All right, let's do our stock report today, brought to you by our friends at Redmont Distilling, Charles Barkley's. I'm going to a big thing down at Auburn. Charles Barkley Redmont kickoff for the Auburn, Georgia thing on a Friday night. A big Friday night party in Auburn coming up. Redmont's ready for football season. Ask for it by name. Wherever you get your vodka, it's spreading across the country. It's a Charles Barkley 8-time distilled vodka, and it brings you today's Stock Report.
The College Football Spotlight.
Stock up, stock down. College football stock report.
Start with us, Brown. What's your stock report?
My stock up is Gene Chizik. People killing that North Carolina defense, and they play the best defense they played in a very long time. Spencer Rattler couldn't see anything, couldn't do anything. They couldn't run the football. Best defense North Carolina's played in a long time. Can they keep it up? If so, I think you've seen the ACC is pretty wide open. My stock down, Disney and Charter stock. I hope they can get this thing fixed. I love them both. We need college football on Charter. I don't want my people on Charter not to be able to watch ESPN. Everybody get together. Let's get this thing fixed.
Let's get it fixed. Disney's about to purchase the rest of Hulu for $30 billion.
Sounds like a good purchase.
And they're going to have Hulu as well. So they'll have Disney, the Disney app, Hulu, and then the ESPN apps. They're going to have all the apps, but they can't get things worked out with them so we can watch football. LT, what's your stock report? Give me a stock up, stock down.
Yeah, stock up is going to be Washington's defense. I was completely wrong. I thought Boise, much like you, was going to be able to play with Washington. And we knew Washington's offense with Kalen DeBoer and obviously Michael Penix and just a slew of receivers would be really good. But I was talking to Brock Hewitt about this on Unlocked. That defense looked different. And Taylon Green, who was your Mountain West Freshman of the Year last year, was completely lost. 19 of 39, a couple of picks. If Washington's defense plays like that, I think they're the favorite in Pac-12.
And
stock
down
is going to be the Clemson Tigers. I mean, look, you can say what you want, 400 yards, 200 rushing, 200 passing, but 7 points in Durham. They didn't look fast. They don't have elite receivers. I think Clemson is in for 3 losses this year.
All right. My stock up is DJ, not ukulele, but DJ Uiagalelei. Boy, he looked good at Oregon State. And Clemson didn't look any better without him. In fact, they looked worse. So I think his stock went way up for Oregon State. Tricky game for the Beavers this week with UC Davis in town. Experienced quarterback, closer than the experts think. Portal deniers.
UC Davis, huh?
UC Davis.
Okay.
A deep dive from me. Portal deniers, by the way. Dabo only got one in the portal this year, just one. Did not look good this week. LT, did you guys know this? 20% of all FBS scholarship players transferred last year.
20%.
That's 1/5, right? LT, you're good with math. 1/5?
Yeah. I would have said that it would have been higher than that, actually. I know that's crazy, 20%, but, I mean, it just seems like every other person's transferred.
Yeah, 20%. That's the record. So if you're a portal denier, you're going down, baby. Stock down. That's our stock report brought to you by our friends at Redmont. Before we get to Buster Olney and talk baseball at the top of the hour, Buster's about to jump on. Tell us about Dr. B. Those hair, that hair under the hat, I'm sure flowing with that beach air this weekend, man.
Yeah, T3hair.net, 205-319-0316. Again, I do a non-invasive treatment on the couch 3 times a week, 30 minutes. My hair has already more than doubled since I went to first see Dr. B, Dr. Beckenstein. When the hair started to thin, everyone said that was the name I needed to call. 205-319-0316, T3hair.net. Dr. B offering that Sensus Transdermal Infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary, as Dr. B can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. Again, T3hair.net. 205-319-0316. By the way, I'm available all day, fellas. I'm sitting here. I'm here for y'all.
Yeah.
All right.
Audio is okay. It's not bad. And
I'll be here.
Delay's not too bad either. Good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. Buster's next, though, on the same Zoom link. He's next right here on TNR.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
We've partnered with Who Is Coffee to create the Next Round blend. Available in light, medium, and dark roast. 100% Arabica beans. Specialty coffee roasted on demand. Available in whole bean or ground for drip pods. Espresso and coarse ground for French press. Go to nextround.store to get a link to pre-order today. Everyone that pre-orders will be entered to win a prize pack with coffees, shirts, hats, and tumblers. Nextround.store for the Next Round blend.
The Next Round is brought to you in part by the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway. This beast is 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and always puts on a great show for the fans. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming and you do not want to miss it. Saturday, September 30th is the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, followed by Sunday's Yellowwood 500 in the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs. Be there to see drivers battle 500 miles to survive. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with Walk-Ons.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090. hemphillservices.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Baseball time, getting to the good stuff. Buster Olney is ready to join us, and it's been a historic week for some people, including Giancarlo Stanton, who got his 400th home run. Thought he would have a lot more by now. Slowed down a little bit the last couple of years, but 400 still a great landmark.
And Buster joins us every week, courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code Next Round when you sign on to MyBookie.ag. Plenty of baseball left. The NFL starts tonight. College football this weekend. Welcome in, Buster. How are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Buster is always with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. I want to rewind a little bit because, boy, Braves fans sure did enjoy that series over the weekend. I mean, listen, postseason's going to be different. I get it. But if you made a regular season statement, that was one heck of a statement.
It was to go in there and to win those first 3 games, and for Ronald Acuna Jr. to lead the way that he did. I was texting back and forth with Eric Young, their first base coach, the other day, and he mentioned that he hadn't seen anything like Acuna's first 3 days in L.A. in his career, where, he hits a home run in game 1, and then in before game 2, he gets married, and then he hits the grand slam, and then he hits the hardest hit home run of the year, 121.2 miles per hour. And this is going against Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, his primary competition for National League MVP. I do feel like, that if the MVP voting comes down to essentially a tie, that some writers are going to remember this weekend or last weekend and think of it as a tiebreaker. Like Ronald Acuna Jr. went into Dodger Stadium and he owned that place. The Braves, came out of there basically in a command position now to have the best record in the National League. And let's face it, with everything going on with Julio Urias and Clayton Kershaw having a shoulder issue right now, Dodgers are not in a good place.
Yeah, great weekend for the Braves. It was a great weekend for you too, Buster. sports Emmys, they don't just hand those out. And
how many do you have, Jim?
I've only got 2, Buster. They're regional too. They're not even national. I'm just saying that that fan interview was, those unscripted moments like that. They have to put a smile on your face.
It was. That was so much fun. So just for backstory, he had this fan along the left field line had reached out into the field of play and interfered with a foul ball. And of course, what's interesting about that is that anyone who follows baseball knows the story of Steve Bartman, interfering with the ball down the left field line. It reverses the fortune of the Cubs, who were managed by Dusty Baker, who was in the dugout for the Houston Astros the other night. So we're watching this fan, we're all assuming he's going to be kicked out of the game, and then he wasn't. And the way that he was supported by all the fans around him, and the way that he's laughing, and you could tell that they were trying to protect him, and he's sinking down in his seat as security comes to talk to him. And then when I left him in the ballpark, we were behind the scenes. We were like, yep, got to go talk to him. And you never know, how fans are going to be in that situation. But he just lit up the room. He was so warm. He was so happy. He's talking about his love for his new favorite team, the Houston Asteroids. It was so funny talking with him. And when we got done that interview the other day, which wound up getting, last I checked, over 10 million views because he was so engaging. When we got done that interview, there were about 10, 15 Astros fans who were sitting around watching it. And he turned around and looked at him and he goes, you know what? You got to take advantage of when you get your 15 minutes, you got to grab it. And boy, did he do that. Malcolm was his name. His last name was Power. I couldn't hear very well when he was trying to spell it out for me. But what a great guy there with his son. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the Asteroids was the best part. Calling it the Asteroids was incredible to me. Buster Olney is with us each week, courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Don't forget code next round when you sign on there at MyBookie.ag for that bonus up to $200 for any deposit of $50 or more. Buster, if you had to put the old family farm on the NL Central, Brewers or Cubs winning that division?
I think for the safe play, if you want to keep the jerseys and our beef cow intact, I would say you go with the Brewers because they have the lead. But right now, the Cubs are incredibly dangerous. I just got off a Zoom call for preparation for Sunday Night Baseball. Book Shambi's going to be doing play-by-play this weekend. He is on a daily basis the play-by-play man for the Chicago Cubs on the Marquee Network, and he was telling us about how well this team's playing. Look, it's really what the Cubs have done this year. Something that's really rare is to see a team go from being one of the worst offensive teams in baseball, as they were the first couple months, to now being one of the best offensive teams in baseball. They're killing the ball. And you also hear a lot of stories about how Dansby Swanson has gone in there and changed the culture. He went in there and the focus is winning. I hear great things from the people on the staff about how he changed the conversation. And how about Cody Bellinger? Went to the Cubs and has found his swing, remade his swing. They have a lot of momentum. As we sit here today, it looks like the playoff series that we might wind up getting on ESPN or in our group could be Phillies and Cubs. That would be an epic wild card series between those two teams. Phillies with World Series aspirations after getting close last year, and the Cubs being dangerous. But to answer your question, I think you got to go with the team in the lead, and the Brewers are very underrated.
Is there an advantage for the Braves being one of those teams that's not going to be in a pennant race down the stretch in September? They can start, manipulating their pitching staff a little bit to rest some arms. You obviously don't want to put them on a shelf for a month, but to sort of, use some of the call-ups and maybe have fresher arms when you get there. Is that one of the advantages the Braves are in now?
100%. And last year taught them how important that was, because last year they were striving to catch the Mets and win the National League East. And so they, played hard down the stretch. And when they began the postseason, as you guys remember, you got Max Fried, who was battling an illness. You had Charlie Morton, who was on fumes at the end of the year, and you had Spencer Strider, who was hurt. Their rotation, same. They've already focused a lot on trying to get their starting pitchers rest. I've had conversations with Alex Anthopoulos about that. They're one of the teams mixing in an extra starter from time to time. because I think they're so cognizant of what happened last year. And let's face it, they're going to go into the postseason as the favorites. And that they'll use September to get their starting pitching lined up as well as possible.
How often do you, September obviously can be an important month for some, when you're talking about that, using it to get the pitching lined up, do you worry about maybe losing a little bit of a competitive edge? I know these are pros we're talking about, but you do it all the way up until September one way, and then you're trying to, kind of massage things. Do you worry about that?
No question about it. When I covered the 98 Yankees, that was the team that won 114 regular season games. They were kind of slopping along through the middle of September. They had an ugly game in Tampa Bay, and Joe Torre called a team meeting right after the game, and he said to the players out loud, screamed at them, something that's always stuck with me. He said, "You can't turn it on like a light switch." And so you have all these teams that have big advantages. They're lining up for the postseason. You can't turn it on like a light switch, which is why I really believe in 21, when the Braves won the World Series, they were an 88-win team. They kind of were in around the edge. They sort of fought for their lives down the stretch. Last year, the Phillies had to, fight for their lives, and they wind up playing in the World Series. I think that's part of the reason why some of these wild card teams advance, because they're in that mode of playing for their lives on a daily basis, basically from mid-August on. And I think once we get in October, that can be an advantage over teams like the Dodgers, who, let's face it, it probably coasted more at the end of regular seasons than any teams in recent years.
We haven't talked enough all year about the Orioles. I think we all just, at least on our show, we thought eventually they would go away. But in the win column, they're only 2 games behind the Atlanta Braves with the best record in baseball. They are not going away. And in fact, they're on a 5-game win streak now. Does it surprise you that they've been this consistent all year long? Did you expect a little bit more fluctuation from this team?
Yeah, 100%. I thought of them coming into the year as being a ceiling would be 86 to 88 wins, something in that range, probably be in contention for a playoff spot, but not a team that was going to dominate the American League.
You still could be right, Buster. If they don't win again, you're still right. They're at 88, so you'd be dead on. If they go on a huge losing streak, you'll be dead right.
Right, exactly. But you figured that they, and then it would be regarded as a year of growth. But now, they're so good and so competitive. Think about this. Their number 1 pick from 2022 was Jackson Holliday. He's the son of Matt Holliday. Well, he's racing through the minor leagues, and typically, he's someone you would not consider calling up in the situation. Especially with the Orioles, who tanked for 4 years. You figure they would do some service time manipulation, slow his clock down, and maybe be called up in the middle of next year. But they're playing so well, and he's playing so well, that there's talk about him being promoted at the end of this year, because he potentially could help them down the stretch, and through an injury loophole, they can put him on the postseason roster. The big question for the Orioles is going to be, can they find enough relief pitching? Davey Johnson, the old Mets manager, always used to say, in the postseason you win with bullpen and bench. Well, they had that huge hit losing Felix Bautista, their closer. There's no talk about him coming back anytime soon. They're going to need heroes to step up in that bullpen if they're going to follow through and have success in the postseason.
All right, you can see Buster and the crew, Rockies at the Giants, Sunday night there in San Francisco, a beautiful Oracle Park on ESPN. Buster, enjoy it. We always appreciate the time. Have a great weekend.
Always love talking with you guys.
Take
care.
Buddy. See you next week. Buster with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. As he is every week, Buster presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you go to MyBookie.ag and get that sign-on bonus up to $200 for any deposit of $50 or more. You can use it right away in your MyBookie account. You win with it. It is yours and yours forever. All you got to do is bet it that one time. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Code next round. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. Odds boost, free bets, super contest. That deal they got on the parlay, first 2 legs hits. You don't want to sweat out the late night leg. You can cash out and use the funds on another bet right there at MyBookie.ag. Code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag.
Yeah, and also by our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com. Just up the road, 2 locations as we get ready to travel around during football season. Every day on social media, I see somebody else buying from Johnston RV.
Well, they're smart people. Cherokee is the #1 selling brand in the country and the #1 brand in the state of Alabama, and the #1 Cherokee dealer in the state is Johnston RV. Travel trailers like that Cherokee Gray Wolf, the Alpha Wolf, fifth wheels like the Arctic Wolf, toy haulers like the Wolf Pack, multiple floor plans, and payments starting as low as $199 a month. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. It's JohnstonRVCenter.com.
All right, time for the viewing menu every day. Rockstar is going to tell us what he's watching. Then we'll tell you about the fine folks at New Life Art and the Legacy Continues print that's out there. But Rocky, what's on the menu tonight for you, man?
7 p.m. on Stars Comedy. There's a movie I have not seen. It's called This Is 40. But there's always a blooper reel that comes up with Melissa McCarthy where she is in the principal's office with Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd. And she does a huge improv scene that Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd cannot stop laughing. That she just goes off there, talking about their kids at school, that tattling on their kids, talking to the principal. And I've never seen the movie, but that scene is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
No, that's a great scene. I enjoyed the movie, the heck out of it. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. That's right in my wheelhouse. That's my kind of movie.
And then from 11 p.m. on TMC, one from 1988, movies that Tom Cruise never makes ever again. Rain Man, where he actually acts and doesn't do action, stuff like that. But Rain Man was a fantastic movie. I think Dustin Hoffman won an Oscar for that film for his role.
Deservedly so.
Great film. And still looking at it. We're still on strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still on strike. Luckily, football's back.
That's true. Not on strike.
God,
the NFL.
What if the NFL was on strike at the same time the writers were on strike?
Good God.
Oh my goodness. Collapsing universe is there. Our friends at New Life Art, check them out online, newlifeart.com. New Life Art is now proud to announce the sequel. The Legacy Continues. That painting right there, that print right there. The next 30 years, the added traditions from Nick Saban in those years at Alabama after Bear Bryant. The next 30 years right there with our friends at New Life Art. Get all the published fine print editions there from Daniel A. Moore with our friends at newlifeart.com. newlifeart.com as we continue on today, talking a little college football. 556 yards and 45 points. That's what Colorado did last week. Do you expect Nebraska to slow it down even more than they would have anyway? They wanted to be deliberate anyway, but I would imagine after watching week 1 where TCU tried to play the pace game for a while and then tried to slow it down, and that didn't work, I wonder if time manipulation becomes big for Matt Rule and company.
So, in other words, shorten the game by running, burning clock, keeping the ball out of Shedeur Sanders' hands, and not doing what TCU did, which is give it right back to them with 3 downs.
Yeah, they tried to hurry it up. Hurry it up.
I don't know. It's interesting, and that's kind of. I mean, was it Nebraska Klatt was talking about when he was asked? They were asking, and they said, "We describe our offense as."
Deliberate.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if you had a deliberate offense, it would certainly help in this situation. The less Colorado is on the field, the less they could score. I mean, that is factual, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you watch that game, there was, it was, I think the last 4 touchdowns changed the lead, right? But there was obvious momentum moments for Colorado where you felt like, in basketball terms, you needed a timeout, right?
Yeah.
If somebody comes down and drains a couple of threes in a row, you think about timing it out just to break the momentum. It felt like there were times Colorado had some momentum. You just wanted something to break the momentum. You would think it'd be a TCU touchdown, but all that did was basically get Colorado back
exactly.
out. Yeah, but you needed a defensive stop is what you needed.
But here's the thing that you fear if you're Nebraska is I try to slow it down. I try to make it deliberate. I try just to, keep Colorado field, and then I run it 3 times, and I don't pick up a first down. Now I'm 3 and out, and they're right back on the field. Now, at least you've burned clock in that situation. At least you've burned off 2.5, 3 minutes in that situation.
No, you got to slow it down and score. Yeah, 100%.
And that's the thing. You can't slow it down and go 3 and out. If you're going to use that strategy and that philosophy, you've got to find a way to string together some first downs, even if you don't score, even if you have to punt. You flip field position, and you've burned time.
11 o'clock on Fox, big noon kickoff, Joel Klatt and company on the broadcast. If Nebraska wins that game, what's the score?
If Nebraska wins the game,
because obviously it was 45-42 last week when Colorado won the
Nebraska
game.
does not win a game 45-42. I mean,
so
I
either.
think Nebraska would win this game, and I know this sounds crazy having seen what Colorado just did, but something like 21-17.
Yeah, I was thinking 27-24.
Yeah,
something like that. I expect it to be close, and LT and I have a stake on it. He likes Nebraska straight up. I've got Colorado straight up, but rooting interest with our friend Matt Rule and Coach Sad out in Lincoln. I was all in on Nebraska, Minnesota. We'll see how it plays out this weekend.
I know.
All in
I
on
want to
Nebraska.
see. I want to see Matt Rule win the game. I want to see Nebraska win this game. It's got nothing to do with Coach Prime. It's just that we love Matt Rule.
Yeah, I want to see. Want to see this Nebraska fan base get a win. But I didn't. Hats off to Deion and his coaching staff for embracing what the rivalry in this. I don't guess I knew how much Colorado fans hated Nebraska fans, Big 8 rivals.
Used to be a good rivalry back in the day.
Big 12 rivals back in the day. And the one thing I love about Deion's program, you see inside everything, right? The social media and all that. They post things up. He walks in and they've got it's personal on the big screen. And it may not be personal to us. We're all new here. But to our fans, it's personal. This means something to them. So let us take it personal too. And I admire Deion for embracing the hatred of Colorado fans for Nebraska and Nebraska for Colorado. So little blood in this one for the CU fans, and I appreciate Deion and the newcomers to Boulder embracing that for the game. A little added juice to it. I like it. It's personal.
I'm excited about this game, man. I never thought, when I saw it on the schedule, as I told Klatt, I told him this to his face, I laughed when I saw you guys take Colorado for the first two games. I never dreamt I'd be so invested in this one.
Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. Paul says this game is going under 59.
I agree.
NH3425. The only way Nebraska scores 45 is if Tom Osborne comes out of retirement and coaches on Saturday. RTD4 says, I want Nebraska to win, and it has everything to do with Coach Prime. Nick says, I wish Nebraska was still in the Big 12. And I think Nick's a big Nebraska fan. Some glory days back there. But you're happy with the Big Ten money. And if Nebraska gets right, it'll be a lot more fun, I think, winning in the Big Ten than winning what the future of the Big 12 is. All right, we will do our 4 downs coming up in the next segment. Rockstar prepares those, and we'll get number 13, EG, in LT's seat. A lot of initials there, EG and LT seat, and she's going to jump in and answer some of Rockstar's unique questions. The show being brought to you in part by our man, Greg Nelson in Storm Restoration Roofing. You always need that free no-cost roof inspection, so let Greg help you out. You don't know what's going up on the roof. That's why Greg will jump up that ladder, get on that roof, and check it out. Loose shingles, bent shingles, that can always cause a problem. Water entry points. Greg gets up there, does the free no-cost roof inspection. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. All the warranties you need in the business. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531 for that free no-cost roof inspection. You can look him up on Facebook too. Greg from Pell City. Contact him there or his cell number 205-542-3531. Let him get on that roof and find out what's going on up there, and he'll handle storm damage too, or replacing your roof or any of that. But the free no-cost roof inspection with Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
The next round brought to you by the biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Superspeedway. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming up. You don't want to miss it. The action kicks off Saturday, September 30th with the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, all leading up to the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs on Sunday, October the 1st. Be there to see these drivers battle for 500 miles to survive and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Again, that is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
You have all heard of Red Wing Shoes, but what is Red Wing Shoes? It's the place where men buy boots, plain and simple. Who are Red Wing's customers? They are construction workers, warehouse employees, college students, the guy that fixes your AC, the guy at the end of the bar, the IT guy. Red Wing is a father, Red Wing is a son, Red Wing is a cult following shared by all men. A classic, comfortable pair of cool boots with a story to tell. What's your Red Wing story? Red Wing Shoe Stores, located in Pelham and Trussville.
Don't miss your chance to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Open 24/7, so come on in for nonstop gaming action. You'll find the latest, hottest, most exciting games around. And you'll love the fun bonuses and big jackpots. Plus, you can watch and wager on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. Your best bet for big wins is just minutes away at Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where you can be a winner too. Birmingham Racecourse Casino off I-459, exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
As summer bids adieu, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pests, it's fall invader season. Hold on tight, because we got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight: box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and show those fall invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your fall. Take charge today.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Emily Grace, our new employee number 13, she'll be at her first college football game to cover since getting her college degree from Georgia Southern, Texas, and Alabama this week. She's going to join us for 4 downs. Here's Nick Saban yesterday after practice talking about going up against a former assistant, Steve Sarkisian, who spent time in his building. Is there an advantage or disadvantage going against Sark?
I guess the question would be is, does somebody else know more about what we know than what they know?
Huh?
I mean, yeah, is it an advantage to the other guy that he knows what we do? But we also know what they do. So I don't know how you put that on a scale and say that it's more advantageous to one person than the other. You know, we always try to focus on what we got to do with our players, try to get them to play good and not really worry too much about, you know, the other guys. But, you know, there could be some terminology things that if you don't change it up, they might be able to take advantage of. And I think we're aware of those things and trying to make sure that we don't give them any advantages. But I think it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, Nick Saban on that. So y'all's thoughts. What do you think first, Brownie? Advantage or disadvantage or a wash?
Well, I mean, I never understand the old Sark knows how things go. Well, Alabama knows all about Sark, too. I've always thought, like, if one guy was in a building and he's like, oh, he's got a huge advantage because he's in that building, he's been there, well, they know him, too. Like, I've always thought that has to cut both ways, right?
Yep. E.G.?
I mean, I think it goes both ways, and you have to look at Saban's record against his former assistants. Clearly, he is victorious in that sense, but there is that level of you don't really know. What does he know? What do they not know? Does Nick Saban feel pressure? I don't know.
Yeah,
that's for him to decide.
28-2, like you said, that speaks volumes there. Part of our show being brought to you by our friends at NASCAR. The volume of cars going 200 miles per hour, door handle to door handle, bumper to bumper is what you get at Talladega, and it's the playoffs. You cannot get more excitement in NASCAR than a race at Talladega coming up in October. September 30th for the trucks, Hardy in concert Saturday night, September 30th, and then October 1st for the Yellowwood 500. Get your tickets today, Talladega Superspeedway.com. Again, tonight we're at Bud Light Game Night. We're out there at Top Golf We'll be out there 5 to 7. We'll be out there. EG, you coming?
I mean, thanks for the invitation.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
She is now.
I am now.
EG will be out there if you want to come meet her. I don't know if Taylor is going to make it. Social media, usually she's there.
She told me she was going to be there.
Rockstar, are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
Rockstar is going to be there. So just about everybody's going to be there. Forrester won't
Forrester's
be there.
not going to be there.
Only way
That's
Forrester comes is if his daughter wants good food from Top Golf.
I guarantee you there's a volleyball tournament or a softball game or a cheerleading contest.
Forrester?
What we got tonight, Forrester? What's on the menu?
We got volleyball at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Okay.
See, I told you.
Hey, post match burger right there at Top Golf. We're out there 5 to 7 tonight with our friends at Bud Light. Let's do 4 downs today. Brought to you by Slice. Brownie, tell us about Slice, and then Rockstar gets our 4 downs.
4 great locations, started by the famous Pizza Bajalia brothers, Jeff and the entire gang. Jeff was an innovator, really. I mean, when you go eat that pizza, you're like, man, this stuff's crazy. The hot mama, the soul pie, which is my favorite. It's got the Kaneka sausages, the black eyed peas, the turnip greens, all of that right there on one pizza. They are phenomenal, unique pizzas. You heard Andy Staples mention it, who knows his food when he's in Birmingham. That's where he goes. You can find them, slicebirmingham.com, slicebirmingham.com for any 4 of the great locations.
First down.
What is something that you do that would seem a little weird by the younger generation?
Well, EG is
I
a
know,
younger
that's
generation.
gonna be interesting.
So, all right, no, you answer this. Can
Okay.
I alter your answer? Can you? Or no, I don't want Taya to answer the question. Can you say things you look at the older generation like us that we do that is weird?
Well, I feel like I do a lot of things that you guys do.
Oh, we got old soul EG
A
here.
little
so
bit
we
of
got-
old
yeah.
soul. But I was going to say thank you notes, handwritten thank you notes, and
I
voicemails.
do that, actually.
Yeah, I still leave voicemails and do the handwritten thank you notes, and I feel like that's kind of a lost art, if you will.
Do you, your generation especially, do you leave voice memos and text?
Yes, I'm a voice memo.
Yeah, see,
I've
never been, yeah.
Somebody your generation that I played music with would send me like a 2-minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? Like, that's how she communicates.
Yeah.
It's like, 2 minutes.
But you talking about the audio?
Yeah, just do an audio
where
message.
instead of sending a text.
Right.
I Bluetooth going down the road a text message, and those can get lengthy with a lot of
Yeah.
misspellings.
See, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
I think an actual phone call, I have found in the younger generation, they're big FaceTime. And I'm not a big FaceTime guy. I just, when I do make a phone call, one reason I don't leave voicemails is I don't want to talk to people on the phone. So I don't want them calling me back. But when I do talk on the phone, I just want to talk on the phone. I don't really want to go FaceTime.
Yeah.
Right.
And boy, that younger generation, man, they are FaceTime.
Well, as EG has learned this week, I get brutalized up here all the time.
Brutalized,
right?
right.
I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
People,
Whoa.
People,
No.
No, seriously.
You've been here since Monday.
Since Monday.
And you think we're tougher on Jim than anybody?
Listen, I'm still trying to make everyone like me, so I'm
No,
going to
we
say
all
whatever
like you.
anyone
No.
wants to hear.
I would
you gotta be
advantage
honest.
go with the 11 majority, but you've seen it.
I have. I've seen it.
And including, I send a lot of text messages to people I don't assume, has my number saved. Right? I've got their number, but I don't assume they have my number saved. I'm
Right.
not an egomaniac that I'm going to think that you know who this is. So when I have a habit of sending a text message where I will put Jim Dunaway.
This is good.
Even like Charles Barkley, who I've known for years, I will still sign it Jim Dunaway.
Well, it's understandable for Barkley. The guy's like a bajillion contacts in his phone.
Yeah, but I send that to anybody.
Right.
And just out of habit, the other night I sent a group-wide text, and I
To
put
everybody you work with on a daily basis.
Yeah, but just out of habit, it's just because it's like a little cut and paste for me. Boom, put it on there to Jim Dunaway, and it became brutal. Didn't it?
Everyone responded with EG.
Ryan Brown, yeah.
Including you.
Including me.
No, which
Yeah.
we knew right away.
That's
She
okay.
was good. But I mean, didn't you just think it was weird, Rockstar, that he's sending a text to people he works with every day and he signed his name on it like we don't have his number saved?
It was a mistake. Here's the old thing that I do that drives, I think, Taylor crazy. I say,
can you narrow it down?
I will say video. Hey, will you video this for me real quick? There's no video in here.
What do they call it?
But in my early TV days, there were actual tapes that you put into cameras and you would videotape things. That doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
But I still say, hey, video this for me real quick.
Instead of record it.
Record it or shoot it or whatever. Video this for me. Or I'll even say videotape sometimes. So that is my old person.
Rusty agrees in the chat room. Jim gets hammered more than anybody. In defense of everyone, it's easy to come down on Dunaway.
Yeah,
you do make it easy sometimes. I don't deny.
Oh, it is. But I think that's my role on the show.
It
to
is,
be
yes, the martyr.
To be the punching
The
bag.
martyr, Rockstar. To be the martyr.
He leaves with bruises every day.
Second down.
Who is the hot celebrity that you never found attractive?
I'm interested to hear y'all's answers on this one.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
you have one already?
I have one.
Okay, give me yours because I need to think.
I think mine is Cameron Diaz.
I would agree with that. She kind of looks like Jigsaw.
Yeah, I've never been a big
Jigsaw. I mean,
Whoa,
she does now. She did
Jigsaw.
in her heyday
From the Saw movies.
Yeah. See, I'm not a big plastic surgery guy. So
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who is a plastic surgery person. I don't know who's seeking it, but
Well, a lot of people.
A lot of
Yeah.
people.
so.
This is. Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people, Jimmy.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
The facelifts and the Botox. I mean, we all get old.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
get
it's
old.
unfortunate because she's coming out with a new movie, and I know you love her, but Meg Ryan's trying to make a comeback, and it's just sad.
Wow,
to see.
how old is she?
Well, no, it's just that she was so pretty, and then to have age gets everybody, and she started messing with that face.
First of all,
Messing with that face.
Rusty, you're drunk. Jessica Alba, are you kidding me?
Hey, everybody's got different taste, Jim.
Nick though goes. Who was the girl that had the blood vial?
Oh, Angelina Jolie.
And I never liked Angelina Jolie, so that'll be my answer.
Paul has just stepped into it right there.
Oh, Paul, are you freaking kidding
Dunaway's
me? Brie chicken fry from Barstool?
Dunaway is obsessed
Smoke
with her.
show. Find me a picture.
Brie chicken fry.
Find me a picture.
All right,
I need to
EG.
see the choices up here because I got to pick the right one because it is. I mean, she is a natural-looking young lady.
So I'm gonna go Ryan Gosling.
Wow.
Dunaway's
the one that's going to get offended by that.
That does bother me a little bit. I do like me some Ryan Gosling.
I don't know. I never found him very cute.
Not even cute.
Wow.
He just
It's
seemed-
taste, Dunaway.
it is
Everybody's got
taste.
different taste, man.
Not that one.
Dunaway's going to want to handpick this Brie chicken fry image there, Rockstar.
Back up to one her holding the phone.
A lot of fried chicken.
There's so much chicken fry.
Go back one. The officials. The first
Let's
screen.
do that one.
Yeah.
All right.
That's really not her.
Oh, jeez.
I like it better when she has a hat
I
on.
take pictures like that all the time.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll send you one real quick, Forrester.
Good.
Good, yeah.
Third down.
What is something that is awkward to buy alone?
Well,
There's a lot of different directions this could
Yeah,
go.
it could go a lot of directions.
I will tell you that, being a good husband early in our marriage, I would, I was out later because I was doing late local news. I'd have to roll in real quick and occasionally buy the tampons.
Right.
And I always felt like I had to explain myself
Right.
at that point.
Uh-huh.
I always
But you
felt like,
cancel it out if you just have that. Just get a bottle of Coke or something like that. You're like, here, I got to get these two things.
I did try to stack it up and not to give away too much information.
Oh, no.
There was probably some hemorrhoid medicine along the way.
Right.
That's never a good purchase either that you do. Condoms were never good back in
Right.
in my condom using days. They always were.
88 was badass, wasn't it?
I mean, so there's been some awkward things. Pregnancy test is never a good one.
Pregnancy test would be a good one, especially a dude coming in about a pregnancy test.
Especially in high school.
Yeah,
It was never good. It was never good.
Depending on age.
It was never good.
Right.
Never good. Hey, Jim, how's the baseball team looking? Really good. Hey, good luck on your test. and I don't mean your final exam. What about
Fourth
you, Brown?
down.
Oh, wait, we didn't get any.
No, pregnancy test.
Oh, see, I'm going a way different direction with this.
Okay.
I'm going anything like to cure a rash or like
Okay.
any sort of,
No, I
sort
got
of
you. Yeah, absolutely.
ointment or
Right.
cream.
Right.
It has my name on the prescription, but it's not for me.
Right,
It's
it's
for a friend of
friend.
mine. Like he just doesn't have
Yeah.
insurance.
Fourth down.
What is a moment in a song that almost always gives you goosebumps? I will give you my example. There's a Radiohead song called Let Down. And in the bridge, the guys, Tom York and the guys decided to put this old computer system they had when you opened your computer, it made this startup sound. And they just did that and they looped it like a million times. And it is so pretty. Every time, I don't know why, when that bridge hits, it gives me goosebumps. That's why I thought of that. So, what is yours?
Yeah, and I'll give you the reason behind this, but now we did not use the Phil Collins version. We used the non-point version.
Yeah.
But the drums and In the Air Tonight, only because of the old school kickoff. What
yeah.
do you call it? The game day song?
Game day song.
The old game day song. When it hits those drums, boy, I loved it all the time, man. And now I can't hear that song without thinking about the game day song. Actually, I can't hear the song without thinking of Rockstar doing
Amari
the game
Cooper,
day song.
another one.
You know that guy 7399. I mean, I know it's maybe cheesy to say, but man,
Star Spangled Banner.
Star Spangled Banner. When you honest to goodness, Brand, when you're guys, when you're at you'll get it.
Yeah.
100,000 fans at Bryant-Denny on Saturday. You will get this. They'll get into the Star Spangled Banner, and right at the end, when every fan is singing along, you'll be sitting there looking around, going, this is pretty damn cool that we're all together. Red and blue, conservative, liberals,
I agree.
Alabama fans, and others, and we're all singing it together. And then all of a sudden, the planes will fly over, and you'll be like, the sun is setting. You'll be like, is this
look at
heaven?
Dunaway paint that.
What's
picture.
crazy is
I mean, I feel like I'm there.
I'm surprised and I'm not surprised that when I say what song gives you goosebumps and Dunaway goes Star Spangled Banner.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. That was the obvious
that was
answer.
in the chat room.
No, but you like that is a.
No, there's a new Zach. I'll stay on theme here. It's a new Zach Bryan song.
Brie chicken fry.
Boy, if those two hooked up, if they had a kid together,
they are dating. You know that, right?
Oh, I'd forgotten that. Yeah.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah. Hey Driver, it's with Warren Treaty, and Warren Treaty, when they hit the first chords of Hey Driver, that gives me chills every time. Take me to a place they still put sugar in their iced tea. I got chills right there.
Okay, just say it, give me chills.
They're different kind of chills.
Yep.
All
that
right.
it?
No, I've got mine.
Oh, you just got hers.
Okay, so I'm going to get points with our friend Josh Pate for this one. Okay.
All right.
So, Fleetwood Mac, Silver Springs.
Rockstar sings that.
The live performance, Stevie Nicks.
She gets
into it, and she turns to Lindsey Buckingham.
Lindsey Buckingham.
Chills.
Wow.
Because it's about him.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
and she.
But it's not positive about him, right?
No.
I hope my voice will haunt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and she's just looking at him.
Yeah.
Like it's intense. It's
Yeah.
a little bit of a bad relationship.
Yeah, they had a history.
That's 4 downs.
That's 4 downs today. Thank you so much to EG jumping in with us. Alabama Power making it easier than ever for you to manage your payment with Digital Wallet, the Digital Wallet. Yeah, you're an Alabama Power customer now.
Yes, I am.
Welcome aboard.
You need the Digital Wallet. You have the options to pay right there with any of these convenient methods, including Amazon Pay.
I mean, look at that.
Look at that right
Can't beat
there.
it.
So easy.
You Apple Pay, Google Pay. There's more. PayPal, Venmo. It's all easy, and it's right there, secure and reliable. All you need is the Alabama Power app, alabamapower.com/myaccount, alabamapower.com/myaccount. If you see EG coming up Saturday at Bryant-Denny Stadium, say hi to her.
Yes,
She'll be
please.
moving around the tailgate, and welcome her to Alabama. Here's Brie Chicken Fry. This is her just recently at a concert, a Zach Bryan concert. Not attractive, according to some of you in the chat room. Attractive, not attractive. Lunsford shaking his head, not attractive.
Lunsford gave it a no.
I actually thought she had a little laurel in her. That's between you and your wife there. That's fine.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dunaway's trying to win a point here.
Brie Chicken Fry. Great wardrobe, too. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Josh says, hey, I got those same boxers.
That's the look.
We're back in a moment on TNR.
Follow John Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
Do you need extra cash handy? Look no further than Legacy Credit Union for whatever loan your lifestyle requires. It only takes a few minutes to apply and request the amount you need to give you peace of mind. With affordable low rates and manageable payback plans, a Legacy Lifestyle loan is crafted just for you. Apply online today at legacycreditunion.com/join. Lifestyle loans from Legacy. Terms and conditions may apply. Legacy is federally insured by the NCUA.
It's time to get out and enjoy the summer of 2023. Ocean City, Maryland, and your hotel family at Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City is ready to welcome you. Kayak from our Bayside Beach, swim in the Atlantic, dine at our Bayview Bar and Grill, span the 2.5-mile-long Ocean City Boardwalk, and a lot more. See all this plus irresistible summer deals and packages online at residenceinnoc.com. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Do something different this summer. Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City, Maryland.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with Walk-Ons.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
A little surprised the get-in price at the Colorado game's only $440 right now.
When is the last time you think somebody's paid $400 for a Colorado ticket?
When's the last time they had a get-in price?
Yeah, that's true. Normally they come on, fellas. Yeah. I don't even know what to expect the atmosphere to be like. What do you expect? It's an 11.
I expect it to be a zoo.
But it's a 10 a.m. game, too.
It is.
Now, it's a party school, right?
Yeah. Patrick, no, I don't have my Zach Bryan tickets yesterday. He added another show. He sold out so fast.
Yeah.
He's doing stadiums now, but I think the one in Birmingham is the Coliseum.
It is. It is at Legacy, and I paid more for my college-age daughter to go see Zach Bryan in March than I paid for Garth Brooks, Chris Stapleton, and George Strait combined.
Yeah. How come? Because he does his tickets differently? It wasn't a set price? Zach Bryan.
I guess because it's an arena show. Now, to be fair, those other two were stadium shows, which are naturally going to pay less.
How much did you pay for your Zach Bryan?
I'd have to go look. I think it was $256
a piece,
$265, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He added another show. I'm truthfully, I'm just going to wait and get mine from ATIX.
I was too, but that was, a lot of people involved there.
Yeah. Just going to wait and get mine from ATIX.
A lot of people involved.
Whatever it's going to be somewhere south of my Taylor Swift experience. Yep. So I'm going to wait and do that. He's at Rodeo in Auburn's off week, and I've been talking with Little T. Why don't we just pack a cooler and go to Rodeo and watch him? I don't need to see his face. I just want to hear him live.
But I will tell you this. One of my daughter's friend's dads was the one that got in line and did it, and I appreciate the heck out of him doing it because I saw how long the queue was.
Oh. I couldn't do it. It was going on during the show yesterday.
I know, and he did it, and I saw how long. I think my daughter sent me. She was like 26,000 in the queue. I'm like, the place doesn't hold 26,000.
That's right.
You ain't getting tickets.
Yeah, but he quickly added another show there and in Philadelphia. I think he's going to sell out Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, so shout out to my man Phil for taking care of it. I really appreciate that.
And if you don't know Zach Bryan's story, served our country, was in the Navy, and got popular without working his way through bars on YouTube, walking out behind the barracks when his day's work were done with his buddies, just singing songs he wrote, and his buddies would videotape it and they'd upload it, and next thing you know, the first concert he played, I think, was 2,000 people.
Yeah.
So he never really...
He didn't have to play like the bar gigs and all that to work his way up the ladder.
Our show brought to you in part by our friends at Shannara Flooring. Shannara Flooring, that's Foo and You.
It is Foo and You. They helped out Rockstar, poor old Rockstar. Just, it was basically a hole in the earth that fell down to the pits of hell
And it needed to be carpeted.
And it needed to be carpeted so you don't fall into the pits of hell. Over it. And That's right. That fixes everything.
Can you do me a humongous favor? And he did. Food delivered and gave me some carpet and a pad on top so Cord can bang his head on it now.
Homewood Carpet and Flooring is what they used to be known as. They are now Shannara Flooring. The name has changed, but tell you what hasn't changed. Superior customer service, the best floors in Birmingham, the best tile, the best hardwoods, the best carpet, the best LVP and LVT, the best countertops, the best specialty flooring in all of Birmingham. Whether residential or commercial, it does not matter. They do it all. Fu and you still doing it there at Shannara Flooring. Visit shannaraflooring.com. That is shannaraflooring.com. Or call 205-518-6423, 205-518-6423 for Shannara Flooring.
Okay, we'll use this as sort of a commercial for our friends at Coca-Cola here. Remember Nick Saban postgame?
I do.
He gets asked this question and uses the Coke bottle again as a prop. He's done this a couple of times over the year. Here is Nick Saban.
Yeah, you talked about Jalen needing more experience moving forward. How do you think tonight's positive performance will help him moving forward to next week and beyond?
This is a Coke bottle. It's not a crystal ball. How do you think he'll play? Do you have any idea? Hard to know.
It's a Coke bottle, not a crystal ball.
So Nick Saban yesterday after practice, kinda is underlined here by Forrester. Kinda gives an apology.
But I've never seen him do this ever. So I know you say kinda, but this is something I've never seen him do.
Here's Nick Saban.
In Austin, look, you didn't ask a bad question the other night. I just didn't answer it very well. And, when a guy plays well in a game at any position, it should help his confidence and it should help him perform better in the future. But I do think that every player, has to understand that just because I played well, I still want to try to improve the few things that I could have done better. And I think if a person keeps that mindset, then they're always improving, all right, because you're never satisfied, and you're always trying to do better, and you don't let complacency creep into your game. And that certainly hasn't happened with Jalen. So, hopefully the confidence that he gained in this game will certainly help him to continue to play, better and better in the future. That's what we hope for as coaches. That's what we try to encourage him to do. So, and that should have been my answer the other night.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen him do that.
Austin, shout out.
Good, yeah. He covers Alabama for BamaCentralSI.com. I've never seen Nick Saban do that, and there are a lot of people that are like, man, we are seeing the softer side of Nick Saban here. Is this about to retire Nick? I love anything Nick Saban does. It's like, this is about to retire Nick Saban right here. Here's Nick Saban, soft in his old age, about to retire. So he's going to start apologizing to reporters now.
It's Tez Walker Day, by the way. And boy,
I picked him in our fantasy.
Hey, if the NCAA rules wrong on this, boys, this may be the death day for the NCAA.
So by rules wrong, you mean they don't allow him to play?
If they don't allow him to play, because he transferred the first time from North Carolina A&T because of COVID, they shut down their season. And I thought I remembered, Brown, when we were in those dark times, that if your program wasn't playing, they were going to allow you to transfer. But I may have just made that up in my head. They're holding that transfer against him as he's moving back home for mental health reasons.
Yeah.
And Mac Brown just ripped them on Friday night in a release saying they're adding to his mental health stress by delaying and not ruling on this. The ruling will come today. If it hasn't already, I have not seen it, but the ruling will come today. 100%, the NCAA eventually has to do something that proves they really do care about the players. And I know we've had people that have skirted the rules before over the years, but in some cases you just got to say, this isn't one of those. One of those transfers that he had was because his team didn't play that year because of COVID. They shut it down. 0 games. Wasn't going to play. So he went somewhere that was going to play football that year. I'd let him come back.
I just think Dunaway, it surprised me when I was watching, I guess, I can't remember when they first said what day the ruling was going to be, but it is today, right? And they said that at some point Saturday, like, Tez Walker, of course, will get his ruling Thursday. And I'm like, the season starts today.
Yeah.
If they couldn't rule it by today,
On Saturday, I'm thinking that, right? They couldn't rule it by today. It's got to wait till Thursday. They know what I mean, you mean to tell me, and maybe there's this piece of missing evidence they needed that they knew they were going to get between Saturday and today. And if that's the case, I apologize in NCAA.
Yeah.
But for that to go on as long as it has, and he misses game one, and you're going to rule the next Thursday, you couldn't rule it before Saturday?
And I learned something from the MAC release on Friday night. And Danny Cannell and Dusty and Danny, Sirius XM, a great listen in the mornings. This morning, I was listening to them, and they brought this up too, that Mac and the North Carolina people and Tez and his family were told in advance that they thought he would get a favorable ruling before he even decided to transfer. Like if he thought they were not going to approve it, he wouldn't have transferred back. But they got an indication from the NCAA, you should be no problem at all because of what happened during the COVID year. And then they put out that release later on, like a month later, that says we're on ruling on the second time transfer. We're about to be more strict about it. So they gave him sort of a wink and a nod that you're going to be okay. Then they put out a release saying we're going to be more strict about it. And now he's been caught up. It's going to end up being a one-game suspension is what they're going to. It's
like
to suspend it.
It feels like they knew that they were going to give him a favorable ruling, but they wanted a pound of flesh too.
That's right.
So we'll do the ruling. We're going to give you what you want, but we're not going to let you play against South Carolina, which is a total joke.
And I see everybody in the chat room saying, the NCAA's authority, they don't have teeth anymore. Some of you said Mac should have played him. The only thing you don't want there is, okay, you play him and then they come back and make you forfeit that game, or you can't be ACC champions or something.
If you had played him, I can almost promise you the ruling would have gone the other way. They would have come back and ruled him ineligible. Then you've got to make the choice, okay, well, I'm just going to play him all year. Screw him.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know what would happen if they did that. It'd be fascinating to see. Who knows? But that would be the concern, obviously.
Our friends at Wayne's celebrating 50 years. Wayne's Pest Control has been serving our communities by doing the things they love to do. That's providing world-class pest control and termite protection to those they care about the most. And they just want to say thank you for that. So all you have to do is go to callwaynes.com, and their big thank you is to give you $50 off their pest control or termite protection. $50 off pest control and termite protection. As always, when you're talking to the fine folks at Wayne's, tell them that you heard about it through the next round in TNR. We love the folks at Wayne's, and we say congratulations to them on 50 great years. Callwaynes.com. Callwaynes.com. Football happening tonight, Detroit and Kansas City. I've got a little video out there going for your daily fantasy plays on how you'd play the captain mode tonight. Taylor has sent that out. Interesting to ask you this question, because if you look at the power rankings in the NFL, people are expecting a good year from the LA Chargers, an even better year from the Lions, and even a better year from the Jaguars. If I ask you, as you sit here before game one of the NFL season tonight, do you really trust the Chargers, Lions, and Jaguars to have good years?
I mean, all right, let's take them separately. Chargers, they're a team that always seems like they're loaded, but they're a team that always seems like they're fighting to make the playoffs. Like Justin Herbert, I'm told, is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but Justin Herbert always seems like he's having to pull one out of his you-know-what to get his team in the playoffs.
Yep.
And then last year they get in the playoffs, get a lead, and then they can't close the door. All right, so that's the Chargers.
I don't know who the college equivalent is of the Chargers, but Little T is looking for a team, and she says, I may be a Chargers fan.
Okay.
And I said, they're always entertaining. They're always fun.
Always
cool
on the
uniforms. In the playoff discussion usually, but boy, they're full of heartbreak.
Yep. And Daniel says, hey, Herbert played with cracked ribs most of the year. I'm not questioning his toughness. I'm not at all. This is with or without cracked ribs. I mean, they always seem like they're fighting to get in the playoffs. All right. So then you got the Lions. Am I going to trust the Lions? I mean, that's just the question you have to ask. What in history have the Lions ever given me to make me trust them?
Yeah, the big story at The Athletic on the slow build to get to this year for the Lions. To get to this year.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's 3-year build. This is the year they've been building for, so it's timing out really good.
And then the last one was the Jags. The thing I trust about the Jags is the fact that they're in that division. I just, first of all, in that division, You've got Indianapolis, who's got Anthony Richardson. What in the world are you going to get out of Anthony Richardson? I don't know that anybody knows that. You got Tennessee. Their quarterback situation is a mess right now, and it's an aging team. Then you got Houston, who is in the complete reset. If Jacksonville doesn't win that division, something has gone horribly wrong. So why are we getting so choked up in here? Are there fumes in the studio? So Jacksonville's the one of those I trust the most only because of their division. I think the Chargers are obviously going to be very good. Dolphins play them Sunday. Hands full for the Dolphins, no doubt.
Truthfully, you want to know why? I had a little I threw up last night.
Okay.
But I don't think it was a stomach virus thing. I think it was something I eat. During the pandemic, my whole approach changed about leftovers in the refrigerator. I used to never eat leftovers. But I started eating leftovers, and I got into a piece of chicken last night that didn't taste bad, but 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours after I ate it, I started feeling a little queasy.
It's the worst feeling.
And I asked Maggie, I said, hey, those chicken thighs you cooked, would you cook those today?
You didn't eat those, did you?
And she said,
did
you not throw those away Monday trash? And I said, no, I didn't throw them away.
Threw them in my stomach.
I didn't see them in there. And I think it was.
But do you think
it was cooked pre-Duke, and she's been up there a couple of weeks.
But do you think it's almost?
That is old chicken, Jim.
If you didn't say that, if you didn't ask, if you didn't have that conversation, do you think mentally that just pushed the button for you mentally? Like,
well, no, it was starting to churn. I mean, that feeling.
But that brought it to the top. There's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt.
And the reason I came to work today, and not that I'm looking for sympathy, but
you're a gamer.
Yeah, but also it was a one-time thing, and then it wasn't stomach virus. It's a continuous thing.
Right.
So this was a one-time thing. I got it out of my system, and
Yep.
So better, but is that what they mean? Play that funky chicken, white boy? No,
it's play that funky music, white boy.
Yeah, a lot of chicken on the show today.
I know.
Free chicken fry,
chicken cock.
Friends at Champy, chicken cock,
vomited chicken,
bad chicken.
Right.
Our friends at Hempfield though will keep it perfect for you this football season in your house. Need the air conditioning now? No problem. Going to be cold eventually? How about the heat? Plumbing problems all the time. I tested that last night. You get it all with our friends at Hemphill. Plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954. Hemphill Services. Call them now, 205-229-2090. We talked to Dan Orlovsky about America's sport, the NFL, next.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy, all under one roof. It's our friends at Hydra Live Therapy. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, and boost your immune system, and more. If you mention The Next Round at checkout, save 20% off any service. You can join the IV League today. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Make sure you ask about that. Hydra Life Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone. If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
The Next Round is brought to you in part by the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway. This beast is 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and always puts on a great show for the fans. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming and you do not want to miss it. Saturday, September 30th is the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, followed by Sunday's Yellowwood 500 and the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs. Be there to see drivers battle 500 miles to survive. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Tony in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room wanting to know about Bryce Young's debut. It's on Fox at 12 noon. Bryce against Bijan. Panthers and Falcons, part of a big weekend that starts tonight. Lions and Chiefs, 7:20 on NBC. Nick Bosa gets a big contract. We're talking NFL with our buddy Dan Orlovsky this hour on the show.
We love having Dan on. He's with us at this time now every single week, courtesy of MyBookie.ag code Next Round. Welcome in, Dan. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Bob?
We're doing awesome, man. We appreciate you coming on. I was going to try to tell people in Birmingham, yeah, you are getting that Bryce Young debut in Birmingham on Fox 6, Carolina at Atlanta. Interesting game. What is your I mean, the Panthers were close to the playoffs last year, but they had to trade away a key part to get to the place where they could pick Bryce Young. Your expectation for Bryce Young in year one is what?
That he kind of looks like the player that we saw at Alabama. You know, I expect them to win this weekend. You know, he would be, this is a pretty interesting stat. He would be the first quarterback that was drafted number 1 to win his first start since 2002, David Carr in the Houston Texans. The only start he won actually that year. So I do think they're capable of that. A little bit of riding their defense. Their defense is still crazy talented. And J.C. Horn and Brian Burns and Derek Brown and Lou Tuso. This is a really good defense that they can ride a little bit. Getting Atlanta early on is probably a little bit of a blessing because they don't have premier pass rushers, and that's kind of surprisingly so what struggled with Carolina in the preseason. I think the questions for Bryce are, one, when they live in that RPO zone read game, how much can he get away with, you know, of holding it on for just a second longer or trying to make, you know, hold off a defender with some of the physical hits that he's going to endure doing that. 2, how much do they do under center in Carolina? I would do it a lot if I were them with him, but he didn't. I think he did 7 snaps of it last year in college football. And then he's going to have to quickly find winners, you know, and I think Adam Thielen has proven to be that a little bit. I think he's comfortable throwing the football before guys are open. At least that's been a part of his game. It's different in the NFL, but I think Bryce plays pretty solid in this season.
Brock Purdy, everyone talks about him, but what an amazing story. If I could have turned back the clock 2 years, 3 years ago with the 49ers organization, there's no way you could have ever imagined this is where we'd be in their quarterback room, right? It's right. Really an amazing story, isn't it?
I think if you turn back the clock 2 or 3 years ago for the 49ers, their quarterback room is kind of what it is now, to be honest with you. I know for a while they are massive fans of Sam Darnold. Now, I think their quarterback order might be flipped a couple years ago, but they're huge fans of Sam Darnold and the talent that he has. And I think the thing that stood out about Brock Purdy and Kyle's offense, so when Kyle knows how smart he is. Kyle's philosophy has always been, I'm going to get guys open. And what I need you to do is very much so distribute the ball in a place where if I get that guy open and there's a yard or 2 separation from that defender, I need that yard or 2 separation and the 8-yard completion to turn into 25 with the placement of the throw and when you get him the ball. I don't need the quarterback that's going to throw it 100 yards downfield. And Brock excels at that. Ball comes out real quickly to the right guy in the right spot. And that, yards after catch is a big deal. And I think the physical ability to throw the ball without perfect feet is a really big deal to Kyle, because that's reality in the NFL. And Brock excels at that as well. So it's a quarterback room that I know they like the makeup. I just think it would be flipped.
Dan Orlovsky with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. He joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie.ag, code next round to get on board tonight. Lions playing at the Chiefs tonight. It's right there at MyBookie.ag. You played in that franchise. You've been in that city. How hungry is Detroit for a team like some people think they will have this year? What will be the fan reaction for a hungry fan base if that team is what some people think it can be?
Bonkers. I mean, you guys live in college football country, right? So you guys are down there, and college football is a way of life. That's how it is in Detroit. My wife is from Philadelphia. When the Eagles win the Super Bowl, like they did 6 years ago, or they go to it, it is a way of life. And they are as good and as passionate and as supportive a fan base as you can kind of bank on. And this is the best roster Detroit has had in 30 years. Top to bottom, the best roster. It's the first time in at least 30 years that the roster matches the coach's identity. Dan Campbell, we're going to outwork you. We're going to be out physical. We're going to kind of turn this into a fist fight every week. The roster matches that. This is the biggest game they've had in years. You know, I was there. We played in the playoffs twice, and we were really good in 2014. And we went down to Dallas and got screwed over by a dog trash call. But I think the fact that this team winning 8 out of their final 10 is on the road, defending Super Bowl champion, it's the first NFL game of the year for a place that had used to have to beg for primetime games, that those fans, I've already seen pictures of planes. Those fans are going to be absolutely off their rocker.
The X's and O's of it tonight. You know, Kansas City looks very different. What kind of impact can Aiden Hutchinson have off the edge on Patrick Mahomes tonight? That seems like a great matchup for me.
Yeah, and also a new left tackle, you know, for Kansas City. Their old left tackle, Orlando Brown Jr., now in Cincinnati. So without Travis Kelce, the biggest question that Kansas City is going to have to ask and answer against Detroit's defense is, who are the winners? 73 targets last year to Travis Kelce on third down and in the red zone. By far more than any other person on the Chiefs. So in those moments, specifically when Aiden's sitting there going, okay, it's 3rd and 6 in the red zone. Here is my shot. Who's going to be the winner for Kansas City? Does Detroit play as much man coverage as they want to? Maybe even a little bit more if Travis Kelce doesn't play. So that's the biggest challenge. Aiden's going to have some opportunity versus a Donovan Smith, who's at left tackle now. Now they signed Juwan Taylor at right tackle from Jacksonville. But if you're Detroit, you want to get him on Donovan just because of the effort that Aiden plays with his hands. So that's going to be the question for Kansas City versus that Detroit D.
Bills at Jets, Monday night game. Listen, I'm a fan of the Dolphins, so this division is personal to me, obviously, Dan.
Sure.
The Jets defense, it's a few teams are going to challenge your defense more than the Bills are. What will we know about this Jets defense after week 1? Can it be the best defense in the NFL is something?
It absolutely can be the best defense. And they gave up 18 points per game last year, and they drafted a guy in the first round, Will McDonald Jr. out of Iowa State as a pass rusher. So on paper, this defense should be better. Now, Ryan, I say this, I don't necessarily have any questions about this defense, nor do I think we learn a ton about. I expect this defense to control the football game on Monday night.
Yeah.
I think you come out of this game having the question of, is the Jets offensive line good enough to be answered or not? Even though Buffalo's without Von Miller, still a very good defensive line. Ed Oliver and Gregory Rousseau and Epinesa, like this is still a good defensive line. And everyone says the question mark about the Jets is the offensive line. I don't necessarily have high concerns about it, but if they could go out and, for the most part, handle a defensive line that's good, or at least pitch, 50-50, then I think the conversation becomes, okay, Jets, really good, great defense. They got perimeter players, Aaron Rodgers. That offensive line looked pretty good. That's when I think there's a little bit momentum to be like, man, the Jets really are maybe what the hype was expected to be through the offseason.
Lifelong Buccaneers fan. Actually, I'm older than the Buccaneers, but since the Buccaneers have been in existence, I'm a Buccaneer fan. Mike Evans is one of my top 5 favorite Bucs of all time, but his time is running out with us. Would you trade him now if you were in the Buccaneer front office? Would you?
If I got proper value, for sure.
What would that be?
I think, this always depends on, like, as you get into these conversations, what team has interest? Do they suffer an injury or a setback to their guy? What are their chances to go make a real run into the playoffs, right? So that's always becoming, the value differs in that. I think this for Tampa Bay, Mike is a Hall of Famer. I think Tampa Bay is probably in the Caleb Williams, Drake May sweepstakes, if we're being realistic. Baker's going to play fine, but there's so many flaws on this football team right now, roster-wise, and they're only getting older on the defensive side of the football. If you're going to tell me, hypothetically, let's say a team loses their number 1 or number 2 wide receiver, almost like, you know what, the Rams 2 years ago, mid-season, we're really good. We got a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl if we could add one more piece on the outside. Let's go trade for Odell Beckham from the Cleveland Browns. And I don't remember exactly what they gave up for Odell. I think it was a 4th. So probably somewhere around a 2nd or 3rd round pick. For a real contender is what you could see with Mike. And I would do that if the season in Tampa Bay kind of plays out the way I expect it to.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to be a Jet to me.
This is on me for not doing my homework last week. I was disappointed that we lost Dan from college football, but then I saw him in studio, so we haven't completely lost him on college football. He's just in studio on ABC. So
he's so good, man. I enjoy your in-game calls. Really good. But what you and Laura and Mina and the crew have done on a daily basis with NFL Live and just everything you do, we're just huge fans.
No, thank you so much. I was bummed to not call college games this year. Having 6 NFL games kind of threw the schedule a little bit into a wrinkle, and it's not fair to put me on a crew for 2 weeks and then take me off the crew for 3 weeks and then put me back on for a month and take me off. And 5 days of studio made it a little bit difficult to get out on Saturdays for games. So I love being a part of the ABC Saturdays with Nagandi and Boog as well. And I'll be back there this Saturday. So as much as I loved calling college football games, I understand it. Maybe it's different next year, but we'll see.
You'll be there for part of a good one this weekend, Notre Dame and NC State. We'll see what Sam Hartman does. The competition amps up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I watched NC State playing at – where did I see them play Thursday night? Oh, that's right, at UConn. And UConn played right with them.
UConn played good. UConn should have – I don't want to say should have won the game, but it's a 3-point game with kind of 2 50-50 calls in the end zone. Notre Dame's been super impressive, because Notre Dame has been really waiting for 2 things in my eyes. One, a quarterback to kind of just play that point guard role, but at a really high level. I think Sam Hartman steps into that with the accuracy and the touch. And then 2, to get some of the athletes on the outside to kind of take advantage of that. Now, they had to be sick to their stomach watching Dylan Edwards at Colorado go absolutely off last week because he was an original Notre Dame commit. But I'm excited to kind of watch how Notre Dame plays this season out.
You also have at 2:30 the Texas A&M Miami game. Who needs that win more, Jimbo or Mario?
Cool. A&M looked good last week.
Yeah,
that young quarterback that they had looked like the way that you would envision Jimbo's quarterbacks playing. Miami looked okay. Looked okay. Who needs it more? Gosh, it feels really loud in Miami right now with the expectations. You're going to give that 50-50. Both those guys need to go play. Their teams need to go play well.
Exactly.
Fun day on ABC. Notre Dame, NC State from Raleigh. Jim just mentioned the Miami Texas A&M game there at Hard Rock, and then Wisconsin at Washington State's a fascinating game. Kel Ward, second leading passer in the nation. And then it's the NFL weekend. So what a weekend we got. Dan, thank you very much for the time. Enjoy the weekend.
Always, guys. Be well.
All right, buddy. Take care. See you next week. Dan Orlovsky with us every single week at this time. Courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up for MyBookie.ag. Get that sign-on bonus up to $200 for any deposit of $50 or more. Play all weekend long. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. That's important. MyBookie.ag. Code next round.
I'll be heading down to the Thompson-Vestavia game in Alabaster this week. I've been hanging out with Luntz and his crew down there as we get ready. Don't forget, Next Round Preps is up. It's podcasted for the week. Jerry and the crew, wherever you get us on Disrupt the Media. Next Round Preps is up there. Thompson and Vestavia. On my way down there, I'll get a little Champy's chicken, either going or coming back, either for myself or if Maggie wants some, I'll get some when I'm leaving the stadium with Sterling and the crew. Champy'sChicken.com for that on Highway 119 in Alabaster, but also a great place with TVs there to go watch the games, including NFL on Sunday. So always good to go by and catch the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and the Southern Fried Chicken with our friends at Champy's right there. We got trash coming up in the next segment. Emily Grace is going to come back in. And
she's going to read it?
And she's going to read trash. That's in the next segment coming up in a little bit. I can't believe the back row goes at it as hard as they do. Forrester and Lunsford are really good friends, but instantly Forrester goes, let's go Vestavia against Lunsford's Thompson Warriors there.
I'm a Vestavia grad.
So Scott went to Vestavia.
Oh,
I mean, what's he supposed to do?
Okay.
Homer.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Guilty.
I mean, his kid and his money go to Moody now, but he went to Vestavia. I mean, he's got a pull for Vestavia.
Absolutely.
Sterling in the chat. Y'all go see Sterling, man. Champy's Chicken 119. Interesting on that Sam Hartman. He's looked good, but now it's NC State. See what they look like this weekend. Troy, Chris Vanini, by the way, of The Athletic, puts out a group of 5 top 10 every week, just group of 5 teams.
Right.
Tulane is number 1,
okay,
with good reason. Troy is number 2, ahead of Fresno State, Wyoming, and UTSA. So he loves him some Coach Summerall at Troy. They play at Kansas State. If you want to play it forward, last year Tulane beat Kansas State in this game. Here comes Troy to town, and if Kansas State can't stop the run, little possibility of an upset there, Troy and Kansas State.
You know, I made it my sneaky good game yesterday. If you're Troy, you're going to need Kansas State, obviously, to make some errors. They generally don't do that. That is a tough place to play in Manhattan in the Little Apple. You also would hope, not that Missouri is like some sort of massive opponent, but Kansas State does have a road trip to an SEC school in Missouri next week. You would hope maybe they've looked past a little bit. If they look past Troy, though, look out. One thing I like about Troy, and Rockstar was there, they got the leading rusher in the nation after 1 week. Now, they did that against Stephen F. Austin. They also gave up 30 to Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah.
So, the Kansas State's going to stress you defensively. Chris Kleiman is a very, very good coach. I don't know. Interesting game. It's a FS1 game, 11 o'clock kick, early kick. I made it my sneaky good game. I think Troy can hang in there with them for a little bit. I think Kansas State will win, but I think Troy keeps it tight.
Another sign that we have talent trickling up is the phrase I saw used. Trickling up in a Chris Vanini story, by the way, when he has his rankings. Another sign that talent trickles up with the transfer portal. The FCS, who usually pulls an upset in week 1, at least one against the FBS, was 0-42 this past weekend, FCS versus FBS.
Yeah.
So you're getting a little bit of the FCS players or the FBS coaches finding players they like at the next level down and picking and choosing some of the best, and it's trickling up a bit. There were some big G5 wins over Power 5s, though.
On the FCS, though, I was going to say, I can't even think of one that was particularly close. There's probably an obvious one I'm not thinking of, but I think most of them were fairly one-sided.
Still some opportunities coming up, including Samford. With Georgia coming up, they're one of the best offenses in the country with Michael Hyers. Furman in South Carolina this weekend. There's still a couple out there. But the G5 had a pretty good weekend. Wyoming with a big win over Texas Tech. Texas State beat Baylor. And then you both of those over Big 12 teams. So there were some group of 5s over the Power 5s this weekend, but 0 FCS over the FBS in week 1. All right, don't forget the Pick 3 is available for you. Open now for business. All the way up. So you got a little less than 48 hours, 47 hours and 39 minutes right now to go and play the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3, all the great Buffalo Wild Wings locations, bringing you the Pick 3 this year. Lunsford tells me just over 50 winners in week 1. You guys
the public killed it.
You guys are so good. Just over 50 winners in just week 1 of our pick 3 right there. Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3. Go to the website, nextroundlive.com, That takes you there, and there's a big banner that says Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3. You click on that, and you play the games. You got an option on a variety of different games. Much better this year, I'm being told by the betting public. So go play there with our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings right there at nextroundlive.com. As we head to break, Brownie, tell us about our fine friends right there at Bromberg's.
Yeah, Bromberg's Dunaway, the leading jeweler we consider in the world, but certainly in the Birmingham area in Alabama, and they have been doing it for a very, very long time. When you've stood the test of time, as long as Bromberg's has, you know you're doing something right. And Bromberg's Jewelers right now, the place to go for all the bridal parties. If you are doing that fall football wedding, you know what? You may as well do it with Bromberg's. All the anniversary gifts, great birthday gifts, Christmas just around the corner. I know it sounds crazy, but here we are in September. They've been doing this since 1836. They've got a solid reputation, and you can see why in person at the Mountain Brook location or the Summit or online, brombergs.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
DryTech Water Restoration is a locally owned company that specializes in mold remediation, fire and water damage cleanup, and SteraMist services. DryTech's goal is to provide clients with expert guidance when dealing with any home disaster. DryTech's highly trained specialists are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They will work closely with you and your insurance company to make sure the process is stress-free as possible. Call DryTech today, 205-637-0143. The moment you discover damage to your home, DryTech's team will handle the rest.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
The Next Round brought to you by the biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Superspeedway. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming up. You don't want to miss it. The action kicks off Saturday, September 30th with the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, all leading up to the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs on Sunday, October the 1st. Be there to see these drivers battle for 500 miles to survive and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Again, that is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
We've partnered with Who Is Coffee to create the Next Round blend. Available in light, medium, and dark roast. 100% Arabica beans. Specialty coffee roasted on demand. Available in whole bean or ground for drip pods. Espresso and coarse ground for French press. Go to nextround.store to get a link to pre-order today. Everyone that pre-orders will be entered to win a prize pack with coffees, shirts, hats, and tumblers. Nextround.store for the Next Round blend.
Okay, we told you about the pick 3. I want to tell you about Hemp Hill again. For all your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954, Hemp Hill Services. Call them up now, 205-229-2090, 229-2090 for our friends at Hemp Hill. Just remember the name. You can Google them. They are the best in plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Emily Grace is back with us, our 13th employee up here. If you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem, who do you call? Hemp Hill.
Hemp Hill.
Of
Now I
course,
know.
yes. Yeah, real easy. Don't call anybody else. Hemp
That's
Hill. Last night was trivia. Did you make it to trivia?
I did not make it to trivia.
I didn't either make it to trivia last night.
Rockstar was there.
Rockstar was there. Was Taylor? Did Taylor make it?
No, she was with me.
Yep. Oh, you
Yeah.
and Taylor were together?
Yeah.
Would y'all go to dinner?
Yeah, we went to Taco Mama.
Oh,
you got to do Taco Mama?
That's over by Odie's.
Yeah.
Right next to Odie. Was it the Mountain Brook one?
Yeah.
The Summit on the.
Oh, okay. Well, still close, Rockstar. Close enough,
This is where she finds out about Jimmy Fomo.
I wasn't on that text thread.
Yeah.
Didn't call me, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I apparently ate bad chicken, and you guys were
Yeah,
at
we had
Taco
Taco
Mama.
Mama.
And
that's where Dunaway's going to say, you're new, but Taylor really let me down.
Yeah, it's not your fault. This
This
was
is
all
on
on Taylor.
That's right.
Taylor probably right now is in the command center cringing, saying, "I thought we had an understanding. We're not going to tell Dunaway
Don't mention
that he wasn't
That's on
invited."
me.
Yeah, no. Important note here. Anything we do fun without Dunaway, you never mention in front of Dunaway.
Is there a
Okay.
separate text, like a super
Yes.
secret?
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, add me to that after this.
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
really is, by the way. It really is. 100%. Tell us about Odie's last night. What was the question?
The question was, which came first, Dr. Pepper or the state of Washington?
I feel like it has to be Dr. Pepper because it's so outlandish.
I would say Dr. Pepper, too, because how the hell would Lewis and Clark find Washington without a Dr. Pepper?
You can't go to Washington without going through Fansville.
Hey, their commercials this year are spot on, by the way.
Yeah,
I
really
like
good.
the Fansville commercials.
Really good. Really
They're
good.
spot on. We're not rivals anymore?
You wouldn't understand.
Dr. Pepper, 1885. The Washington officially became a state in 1889. So Washington, not even older than a soft drink.
How about that?
That is Odie's Trivia. You get that kind of knowledge when you come every single Wednesday night. We start around 8 o'clock at Odie's Trivia, Crestline Village. It is a Birmingham institution. Great place to go watch the game. Tonight, the game's all weekend long. Enjoy that cheeseburger, the Diablo sandwich, the big cup cocktails. Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
You think the Pacific Ocean states are worried they've already been kicked out of the Pac-12? Are they worried that we're going to kick them out of the country?
Sorry, folks. U.S. is closed.
All right, let's do trash. EG's going to read it today. She's in here with us. Hit the big button, Rockstar. Brought to you by Mortgage Right.
At the belt. And now the 3-2 swung on. A pop foul back here. Ow! 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 It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far.
LT's
Ow!
Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Listen, when you go to buy a house, the first thing you do is go to Mortgage Right. Let them get it started right before you get in a mess at Mortgage Right. MortgageRight.com/TNR, MortgageRight.com/TNR, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. EG?
Alrighty, I'm going to take it away.
Fire away.
Our first segment, our first article. Steve O is back for Liquid Death with his own voodoo doll. Liquid Death has shaved Steve O's head and used his salt and pepper hair as a stuffing.
Oh, no.
For 300, so 300 of you can get this. Fully hexed, mind you, voodoo dolls. As a precursor to spooky season, the canned water with a punk attitude drops a limited time, all natural merchandise today, along with a video detailing the making of process. For the skeptical, like myself, Liquid Death's vice president of creative, Andy Pearson, promises authenticity. This thing is 100% real, Pearson told Adweek. We personally shaved Steve O's head and delivered that jar of his hair to a voodoo practitioner, didn't know you could be a practitioner, who helped make the dolls by hand and activate every single one of them.
So they released a video of them shaving his them shaving his head.
Yeah.
And Steve-O doesn't care.
Well,
And,
I would
great
tell-
guest, by the way.
Yeah,
Super
he was
nice
in
guy.
studio with us. He was nice.
He found a dog like in Chile or something.
Yeah.
And just adopted it.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Just brought it to the studio.
Yeah, well, he was not. When he was in studio with us, he was not what I anticipated him
No,
being.
he's a
Yeah.
super nice guy.
Yeah, really nice guy.
And of all the things that he has done on camera over the years, getting his head shaved was no problem at all.
absolutely. This is very minor.
There was one jackass stunt where he said, like, there's one thing he said no to that I think late Adam Dunn had to do. And he said, like, I cannot do that because my dad will absolutely kill me if I do this one stunt.
Yeah.
And the stunt was awesome. He didn't do it. Ryan Dunn.
Ryan Dunn?
I won't say the stunt.
But I would tell you, didn't he get his entire body waxed one time?
Oh, he's done everything.
I think he did that one time.
He's been stapled.
Yeah.
Yikes.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's done a lot. Steve-O, maybe you don't even know who he is, do you?
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't.
No, you don't. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I know of him,
It's
kinda.
about about 30 years ago when Jackass was popular.
Yep. They used to just do a bunch of stunts that ended up with people getting hurt, and
he was the guy that usually got hurt.
And they made movies out of it. I mean, believe
He
it or
would
not,
be
it
in
was
a
so
thong
stupid.
and he'd just ice skate and then jump into a river.
Like, you can see anything they do, you can see on TikTok and YouTube endlessly, but they were the only ones doing it
at the time.
that you could see it at the time. Yeah.
Right. Well, will you guys be purchasing a doll?
I will not. That's going to be a hard pass for me.
either.
Somebody's hair in a doll. No, thank you.
All right, moving on. Switzerland is #1 in 2023 U.S. News Best Countries rankings. I'm going to give you guys a rankings, and I want to get your opinions.
This is incorrect. The United States is #1.
Agreed.
We understand that.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's understood.
All right.
So we have Switzerland, followed by Canada, Sweden, Australia, the USA.
What number are we?
5.
That's
Right in the middle of the pack.
It's incorrect. I say it in the Johnston RV ad all the time. We're #1.
We live in a year when Alabama started at 4 and the U.S. started at 5.
It's falling apart.
And we've actually dropped. We were 4 last year, and now we've dropped to 5.
Down a spot.
I guess it's like they keep waiting for Saban to retire. They keep waiting for Biden to retire.
I guess so.
So then we've got Japan, Germany, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and the Netherlands. So this is the second time in a row that Switzerland has gotten the #1 spot, but 6th overall.
Yeah, seems very nice there. Do they have college football, Jim,
No.
in Switzerland?
No.
Okay, well, you can't be #1.
That's where Swiss Miss lives.
They got barbecue
She got
pork.
good hot cocoa.
Rockstar, do they have barbecue pork?
They might.
Doubtful. Can't be #1.
Just so I'm on the record here I'll be dead and gone maybe when this happens.
Maybe.
But it feels like that this is one of those tapes that we'll a link we want to save somewhere. Like if she's on ESPN like 5 years from now, or hosting Dancing with the Stars 10 years from now,
My goodness.
they'll be like, she'll be doing an interview on something, and somebody will be like, "I remember the first time you were on air professionally." And
what about voodoo dolls?
And they'll pull this clip up. Look how young you looked back then.
Hey, but you know what? They loved America on that show.
Yeah, we did.
They did.
They said it should be #1.
They did.
All right, so this is my personal favorite of the bunch. And it's always a good story when it starts with a Florida man. Can we agree
Florida
on that?
man.
Yeah.
Florida man's undefeated in this segment.
So we've got a Lakeland man was arrested and accused of pelting several Walgreens employees with Snickers candy bars during an early morning confrontation.
Well, you throw what you can get your hand on.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, it's probably not going to hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a stock photo, right? He wasn't taking a bite
No,
out of them and
as
throwing
far
it at
as-
them.
Get the macro
I know.
lens on this.
So again, this is an early morning altercation, and they said that he was a highly intoxicated 23-year-old boy, Noy Idell, and he became agitated when employees at the Clearwater Walgreens refused to sell him a box of cigarettes, citing store policy. Angered by the refusal, Idell allegedly became irate and threw Snickers bars at the store's manager.
Why does it get store policy? Because
Satisfied.
Too early in the day?
Yeah.
Everybody, he's angry.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't know what the policy is. That
Yeah, I mean, he's
is he
23.
underage?
Right.
He's not
23.
underage. Yeah, I got no idea.
So there were employees hit in the face by the Snickers bars, as well as striking them in the chest. Idell later told police he didn't mean to throw the candy bar directly at the employees.
Just wanted to scare him.
Just wanted to scare him with the Snickers bars, but
I have
the
better
footage
aim.
showed
I have better aim when I'm smoking.
Right.
I had the nicotine jitters and kept hitting him. You know, there was one employee, Rockstar, that was like trying to grab him with his mouth. He's like,
So he was arrested,
Put
charged with
almond joys.
battery.
yeah.
But-
What are you in for? Assault. What'd you hit somebody with a tire iron? Nope. Snickers.
Snickers.
You shivved him? No. Snickers at him.
Yeah. All right. Second to last one.
Oh,
This
next
is
to
also
last.
a good one. It also involves Florida. I mean, it can't really get better than this. A 3-legged bear known as Tripod.
Oh, I like that.
I like that.
yeah.
That fits
It's a
us
creative
well.
nickname.
Yeah.
That's what we used to call Rockstar.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Broke into a Linnae.
And a what?
Linnae?
What is a Linnae?
I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Me,
Okay.
Lance, and Brown always mispronounce things.
Yeah.
L-
Yeah, she may not have mispronounced it. I just don't know what it
don't
is.
know.
All right. Well, keep
Well,
going. Maybe
they-
we'll figure it
Maybe
out.
we will. Over the weekend, decided to have a party. So the owner of this Linnae, she received a security camera notification around 5 p.m. Sunday and saw that Tripod was paying her Lake Mary house a visit. At the same time, Finette Diglio's son, 13-year-old Joseph Diglio, was home and heard the family dog Bruno barking. Soon after, he spotted Tripod breaking in by tearing a hole in the patio screen. "Oh my God, I've never been this close to a bear," Diglio said in the video. Tripod then made himself at home by opening the family's mini fridge.
Oh,
Not the
wow.
big fridge, the
Wow,
mini
got that
fridge.
opposable thumb.
Yeah, that's agility right there.
I'd check to see if this old cat had a zipper down its back.
Now,
That is
this is
some guy stealing food.
Now hold that thought, because this is where it gets
Uh-huh.
good. So he took some fish food naturally, but then he took 3 White Claws, drank, and left very happy. His favorite flavor is mango and strawberry.
Oh, I do like the
At least we
mango
know
and
what he likes,
strawberry
yeah.
too.
At least we know what he likes. Keep him happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary that the Bears are getting so good at breaking and entering. But
Right.
it's,
Three-legged bears.
Yeah.
Three-legged.
Of course, they got the wrong angle on him.
Yeah.
Well, I see all 3 legs.
Yeah.
You do have all 3 of them
Yeah.
there. That's interesting. Lene, is there? I would say that is maybe a French word for chateau, but I would imagine chateau is a French word for chateau.
Or something else.
So I don't know the lay. Maybe it's a Florida phrase we're not familiar with.
Could be,
Or maybe
yeah.
that's the neighborhood.
I don't know.
Or town, yeah.
But what would you guys do? You walk into the kitchen, there's a 3-legged bear. I think the 3 legs would be what would throw me off.
We're going to turn around and walk right back out.
I wouldn't notice how many legs he had.
That's
to be honest.
true.
I'd never make it past the eyes.
Yep, can replace can replace anything in that fridge.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
replace me.
I'd
Yep.
be out the door.
Alrighty, to wrap things up, Rockstar is going to show us some interesting bed concepts.
Oh, that's scary, Rockstar.
Speaking of-
That's for a child. Come on.
Bear beds.
These are
Speaking of
actually
bears.
beds that you can purchase. I looked
Yep.
through these. I'm like saying some of these beds.
Well, this is uncomfortable because I sleep on my stomach.
Yeah.
He's got a weird face on.
Oh, and the bear is wearing a nightgown, and that's the
Well, it's
sheets from a
bedtime.
bed. Okay. All right. Continue.
Okay.
What would that be, Rockstar?
I don't
That's
know.
A bird bed?
A bird bed with a great painting and.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Isn't there?
You don't mind it,
I don't mind
EG.
it.
Okay, we've learned something about EG. She's gaudy.
And a
What are those
mallard.
things that you open up and there's something inside? Is what that looks
Dynamite.
like.
Yeah.
You're talking about a
Well, it's like the
wow thing. What's
yeah,
it
the
called?
surprise egg or
Yeah.
whatever
The
you're talking
little,
about.
yeah.
Yeah,
How
that is
about
a
bird's
bird's
nest?
nest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I would not want to sleep in that.
Look at
fun for
the Pixar light.
Is the lamp huge or the bed small?
I don't know what the
Well,
scale
there's a
is.
kid in there. You see the kid. That's a huge
That
bed
is a
for that
massive
kid.
lamp. That lamp will kill you.
I mean, I don't think I have a room
Now,
big
this
enough.
is good for a kid. That
Yeah.
wouldn't scare me at all.
Yeah. Time to go to
I
bed.
mean, look at those teeth and the pillow. The way they have the kid facing, his teeth are going, his
Right.
feet are going into the mouth.
Yeah, I would sleep back near the epiglottis. It seems like
Yeah.
you're sleeping backwards there.
Get a little uvula action.
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk, big fan.
Oh, wow.
If you want a woman over that night, just come. You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
You do not want to make me mad, man.
How about having a pool right by a bed by
Yeah,
the pool?
I bet that doesn't smell like chlorine at all.
Oh, this is all LT right here. I
Yeah.
think this would be perfect.
Have
for
you
LT.
ever-
And a tube? Can we put a tube television?
That's right.
Put a tube television.
Yeah, where you gonna plug that in?
This is not regal enough.
No.
Would you think I'm a little snooty if this was my bedroom?
EG, you okay with that
I don't
one?
mind it.
Yeah, see, EG,
I
man,
don't
she is
mind
over
it.
the top. Yeah, we've learned that.
And then finally, this is one that's called like a sonic bed. It's supposed to be like 1 to 2 people can sleep in it, where you're surrounded by sound. Like those are all these speakers around you, so it's called a sonic bed.
Ooh, I wouldn't hate that now.
My wife would like this.
Yeah, I
it looks
wouldn't
really
hate
cool
that.
in your bedroom. If somebody saw it, like, what the hell is that?
What are you sleeping in?
My wife would like that. She throws the rain sound and the ocean sound
Yep.
and the person who talks and he'll breathe deep.
ASMR.
From someone listening to the show, she just texted me. It's pronounced lanai, like by. Lanai, like by. Lanai.
Well, what
So
does
there
it
you
mean?
go.
And it's just a house?
She'll have to text me what it means. I don't know. But lanai is how it is pronounced. I trust her in this.
All right. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, they put the M in mastery when it comes to purchasing a new home. Let them make home ownership a possibility for you. Go to mortgageright.com/TNR to start that journey today with them. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. It's basically a screened porch, typically with a screened roof. That's what a lanai is.
okay,
We have
very
learned something in Trash today, right? So it's very, very informative.
So that's
All I want to do is get y'all to learn something.
Yeah,
so
we
basically,
do.
we could have a lanai in our backyard.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And when we're out by the pool,
That's
and
right.
the lanai's
Yeah.
by the backyard.
Doesn't keep a bear out, though, is what
Yeah.
we've learned from that
Maybe
story.
mosquitoes.
Go
That's right.
outside and lanai down.
So Sterling will know next time he brings food up from champyschicken.com. Or your chicken finger? You like chicken on the bone? You like chicken wings?
I love a chicken finger.
A good
All
chicken.
right.
Classic.
They got good ones.
Hand cut chicken
Yeah.
fingers. Do you like tamales? They got the Mississippi
Like
Delta,
tamales,
Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. All at champyschicken.com. We look forward to catching up with Sterling very, very soon. Again, to have another good meal. I'm going to see him, I think, on Friday night, tomorrow night, heading down for the Thompson game. And if you're heading to NASCAR, they're coming to the Talladega Super Speedway September 30th and October 1st. Hardy's in concert September 30th after the Trafman Truck Series race. And then the Yellowwood 500 is on Sunday. You get tickets to all that. Your ticket takes you to the Hardy concert, into the big playoff race in NASCAR. All you have to do is go to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. When we come back, UAB coach Trent Dilfer joins the show. We talk about a big trip to play
Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern. Somebody just got their degree from Georgia Southern. We're going to keep you away from Trent Dilfer when we come back on TNR.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at HydroLive. Mention next round at checkout. Save 20% off any service. HydroLive's got 3 locations, Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
You hear a lot of interesting phrases while playing golf, like, I think you're on the beach, or the classic, you gotta hit it, Alice. One word you're sure to hear right now at Bentbrook Golf Club is wow. Brand new carts with complimentary GPS, and the bent grass greens are so consistent, you just might drain a few more putts, Alice. Tee it up and find out for yourself. Book around today at bentbrook.com or call 428-1999. It's better at Bentbrook.
Want more of the Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, the Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to the Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
All right, getting ready for another big weekend. Enjoyed the crowds this past weekend at Protective. Brian Denny and Jordan Hare. If you're heading to the game, Alabama, Auburn, UAB, game day polos, hats, and quarter zips. You get them from the place you see all over TikTok. That's pantstore.com. Pantstore.com. 6 great locations in the state: Auburn, Crestline, Hoover, Huntsville, Leeds, and Tuscaloosa. Ladies, you look no further for your game day wear than right at the Pants Store. They have the skirts, the rompers, the clear bags, and the booties. It's all at pantstore.com. Pantstore.com.
All right, let's do our weekly visit with the head coach of the UAB Blazers, Coach Trent Dilfer, with us now, presented by Legacy Community Federal Credit Union. Legacy is the official credit union of UAB Athletics. Welcome in, Coach. How are you today?
What's happening, boys?
Not much. Congrats on the week 1 win. I know any coach comes away with a million different things you want to get better on, but winning is very important, and you were able to do that right out of the gate.
Yeah, pleased with the victory. Obviously, a lot of investment goes into it. Pleased how we handled kind of the first game as a group. I mean, that's a whole building first. So pleased with that. A lot of things are correct. as we move forward. But I think that's every team that's trying to be great is they're looking themselves in the mirror on all the things they can get better at. So we sure have a laundry list of them, but we went to work on them this week, and I do think we've gotten significantly better this week.
You, as soon as the game ends, you're on with one of your former colleagues, Scott Van Pelt, and I mean that is tremendous.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
It's great for the program.
It's just great for the program. I mean, to get that kind of national exposure right away was tremendous.
Well, SVP's been a really good friend for a long time. We worked together at ESPN, but developed a friendship as well. And, there's a lot of people rooting for us at UAB because they're connected with me. I think they've always felt like this is what I should be doing. So, we have a lot of fans around the country, and Scott's one of the biggest. Stanford Steve is actually coming in today on his way to Tuscaloosa. Going to see him this afternoon, hang out with him in my office a little bit. So good people, and they knew they could pour some gasoline on what we're trying to do here, and I appreciate them leveraging their influence for the betterment of Blazer football.
Yeah, well, I feel a lot better when Stanford Steve picks you than I do Felica. So I'm glad when he picks you. So you're, first of all, the gear is fire. I love that top you have on, the Under Armour football UAB with the American logo. That is a fire look there. You're on your way to play Georgia Southern, and listen, I'm not a coach, but I feel like you'll get a better test of what your team is this week because the rosters are a little bit more closer alike. Is that a fair statement that you find out a little bit more about your team this week in a little tougher test with Georgia Southern?
More than a fair statement. It's a factual statement.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a good group. Clay's done a really good job implementing systems, but then matching the personnel to it. I think last year was, first year for anybody. You're playing, you're trying to get your systems in place. You're trying to get your way of doing things, and they're not necessarily the guys that you see fitting the best. I think this year it's much cleaner. He's got a new defense coordinator that's really, really good, has a rich history. He's an Elko disciple. Was a Buffalo last year. Very good scheme. Players to fit it. Much greater challenge. This is a good group. In fact, somebody told me we're underdogs in this, so that doesn't surprise me. They shut their opponent out last week. They put up 31 easy points early in the game. So they're an explosive group offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. Their special teams coordinator comes from Memphis. We know about him very well. Very, very good special teams coach, creative in what he does. Attacks, solid sound. So we have a great challenge going on the road, and it's the first time as a group we've gone on the road together. So it's the first time our DFO and operations team has put together a road trip. It's the first time we've traveled together. It's the first time we've had meetings on the road. So there's a lot of firsts again this week as well.
Coach Trent Dilfer with us, courtesy of Legacy Credit Union, the official credit union of the UAB Blazers. Had I told you in our visit last week, we were a couple days before the game, had I told you Jacob Zeno would throw for 41 times, would that have surprised you? Or is that what you thought would happen in that game?
We weren't sure how many plays we would get with the new rule. I don't know how much the fan knows about this. The clock isn't stopping after the first downs except for under 2 minutes in the first and second half. So nationwide, it cost everybody about 6 plays, but bigger than that, it was possessions, about 2 possessions that you lose. So we weren't sure how many plays we'd get, but we knew we were going to be a little pass happy in this one. And that'll change every week. We don't know necessarily what it's going to be until we see how the defense is going to play us. But we definitely wanted to get Jacob going. We wanted to get the ball in our playmakers' hands on the perimeter. That was last week's plan, and this week's plan will be something else.
Yeah, Jermaine Brown, it could be that something else at running back, and I was wondering how you manage running backs because it is such a wear and tear on these guys, and sometimes running back by committee. I know Nick likes to do that when in an ideal situation in Tuscaloosa. Are you if you got a Derrick Henry back there, you handed it to him 35 times, no problem, or are you a running back by committee kind of guy?
I'm a both guy, meaning my preference would be spread the ball around. We had 13 guys touch the ball last week, but I've also been around Hall of Famers that get better as the game goes on. That the more touches they get, the more they get in. Sean Alexander, who I played with in Seattle for 4 years, wasn't very good in the first quarter, but if you kept forcing him the rock by the fourth quarter, he's the best back in the NFL. So you kind of got to get a feel for your players, and sometimes they just get hot, right? You just get a guy that is seeing it perfectly. He's got extra juice that day. Just kind of, he's in the flow state, right? He's in the zone, as people call it. So you got to be able to fill that as a play caller, as a head coach as well. So I would prefer to spread the ball around. I think you're more versatile that way. I think you're harder to defend when the other team doesn't know where the ball is going. But if you got a guy that's hot, you want to feed him the rock as much as possible.
I always had a philosophy about Sean, is that he was too nice to be a mean running back. And that's why he always started slow, that he got a little madder as the game went on every time he got tackled. And that's why he was better late. I mean, he was one of the nicest guys in the world, right?
He is one of the nicest guys in the world. He was a guy that I love talking about Sean because he was such a unique back, and I really had to. I was a coach player at the time, so I had to work hard with him on being a complete back. But he was a guy that was as intuitive as anybody I've ever played with. Like, he didn't necessarily buy into the X and O's all the time. He wanted to fill his way into a game, and I think that's one of the reasons why it took him a while. Was he was feeling out the defense, he was feeling out the blocking schemes. And when it clicked, you could see it in his eyes in the huddle. And it was as many, hey, signaling to Holmgren, let's get him the ball. We played a Sunday night game where I think he scored 5 times against the Vikings. And it was unbelievable, some of the plays he made that were what I would call beyond the X's and O's. They weren't drawn up the way he scored, but he found a way to get in the end zone.
Before you go, back to last Thursday night, would you have described yourself pregame as nervous, anxious, calm, at peace? How would you have described yourself pregame?
Very calm. Yeah. I had fun and really enjoyed being around the players, seeing the joy in them. I'd say calm, at peace, and I know that's exactly where I was supposed to be. So I've been in a lot of ball games and had a lot of emotions. And I think the older I get, the better I control those emotions. So I felt very comfortable.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Your team played that way in the win over North Carolina A&T. It is a road game now against Georgia Southern coming up this week, 5 o'clock in Statesboro for UAB at Georgia Southern before a return trip back home. Coach, best of luck in Statesboro. We'll see you next Thursday. Thank you very much for the time.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, Coach, you too. That is Coach Trent Dilfer with us each week on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, courtesy of Legacy Federal Credit Union.
That's right. Need extra cash handy? Look no further than Legacy Credit Union for whatever loan your lifestyle requires. It only takes a few minutes to apply and request the amount you need to give you peace of mind. Apply online today at LegacyCreditUnion.com/join. That's LegacyCreditUnion.com/join. Federally insured by the NCUA. It's our friends at Legacy.
You know, it's college football is kind of a strange sport in this, that this game will feature a coach who just 2 years ago was the head coach of USC and a coach who just 2 years ago was a high school coach in Nashville, and now they're coaching on the same level. It's just kind of weird how those things work out in college football. I mean, they were miles apart, Trent Dilfer and Clay Helton. One was the coach of one of the blue bloods in college football, and another guy's a high school football coach. You think ever they thought, you know what, in 2 years we'll be playing a football game against one another?
Or how about two Super Bowl champions who were former NFL players being doubted as much as Trent Dilfer was doubted on how successful he was going to be at UAB this year? Time will tell. Or Deion Sanders at Colorado? Time would tell. But both got wins the very first weekend. Our look ahead to what's coming up on our Disrupt the Media platform when we're done here in 5 minutes, brought to you by our friends at Simpio. When we started this, Brownie, we started this with in mind we were going to have a booming business and we needed somehow to get a paycheck.
Yeah, exactly right. And Simpio basically takes care of all the stuff you don't want to take care of as a new business. I mean, that's what it boils down to. The things that are the biggest headaches anytime you start a new business are these things. Payroll, that's number one. Benefits, that's number two. HR, that's number three. All those things could start to stack up on you, and there is a number four, benefits and compliance. All those things stack up on you, and it just takes time away from you. Simpio makes it so easy. They take care of all of it, and they do it great. In fact, my wife takes care of our insurance. She's the one that looks after all that. She says, we've got the best insurance we've ever had as a married couple. And I've worked for some big corporations before. That's what you get with Simpio. Simpio.com. That is Simpeo.com. If you want them to take care of the compliance, HR, payroll, and benefits for you, or call 205-635-7467, 205-635-7467, or Simpio.com. Andrew asked in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room, why does the show end at noon now? The show ends at noon because of extra shows like this that we do after this show.
Yeah, over on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Disrupt the Media, like and subscribe, and also audio podcasts, wherever you get those. Episode 1 of DJ Football, Brown and Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network, bold NFL predictions before the season kicks off tonight. Also over there, Spitting Lugs, LT and Tom Luganville. After week 1, does the SEC have a problem this season? That's part of the conversation. Episode 2 of Unlocked, LT and Brock Heward over there now. How will Colorado fare against Nebraska? Get a good prediction there on that one. And the latest episode of the Mystery Fifth Hour with all of us. That's all at Disrupt the Media over there. And subscribe as you go to that YouTube channel, Disrupt the Media. This is Jalen Milroe, Alabama's quarterback, before the big game this week in Texas. He was asked about his nerves after the first game.
Jalen, how confident are you walking up to the line and reading the defense and getting checks into the right play, getting Alabama into the right place?
To speak about, I think nervousness comes from lack of preparation. I think how I prepared throughout the week allows confidence on Saturdays. And also just that hunger to improve, just the meeting with the offensive staff, Coach Reese, and just speaking our game plan. I think that's key, just trying to be most prepared as possible and just approach every day, try to get 1% better.
That's our Moore's Marinade sound of the day. 1% better from Jalen Milroe. Everybody's coming to Tuscaloosa for the big game this weekend. Alabama still a touchdown favorite in that one. Tell us about our friends at Moore's.
Yeah, and if you're grilling in the backyard for that game or out on the quad when you're tailgating, make sure you involve Moore's Marinade. And also don't forget their wing sauce. You can dip, drizzle, or slather the buffalo wing sauce on absolutely everything there. Chicken fingers, burgers, sandwiches, pizza, pasta, tacos, fries, and more. You can see why grill masters prefer Moore's Marinade and wing sauces over all others. You can also get recipe ideas and grilling inspiration at mooresmarinades.com. That is mooresmarinades.com.
All right, Jalen Milroe, by the way, you guys are asking over there, Samuel, 6'2", 215 is what he's listed. He plays a lot bigger than that, 6'2", 215 for that. Tonight, it's Lions and Chiefs. You trusting in Pat Mahomes to be 6-0 in Week 1 games, or are you going with the Lions to live up to potential?
I'd like to know Travis Kelce's status. There's
he's not
talk that by Clark Hunt, the CEO, that he might play. I don't think he's playing either. I think I'm gonna go to Lions here. I think I'm gonna go Rockstars Lions.
He's not playing. I'm gonna take the Lions as well tonight. Aiden Hutchinson will have a big game in Mahomes' face. Lance'sLock.com for the plays. Lance'sLock.com for the plays. And again, thank you for being with us today. Bud Light game night tonight out there at Top Golf, 5 to 7. If you're watching on the video platform, that'll be 6 to 7 for our show Central Time, 6 to 7. We'll talk about that game and a lot of the college football plays with Lance, who will join us from down on the coast. We'll talk about that tonight on Bud Light game night at Top Golf. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.